Welcome, everyone, back to the Shattered Isles. I'm Cassie.
I'm Max, and tonight we will be returning back to the rest of the away team.
Yes.
Getting ready to delve deep into this strange fortress they found on the side of a mountain.
Secret mountain fortress.
I'll say
And
secret
who
no
is
more.
going to be there?
Our characters that are joining us are Thomas, the wizard, played by Paige.
It's me. Hi.
Kodrog, the master salesman, played by John.
Hello there.
Narish, who is, oh man, I forgot the name.
Crotech. Mercenary.
A Crotech mercenary. And the lovely Arya,
Yes.
who is a...
Lycanian.
Lycanian.
Cat lady.
For those who don't know what those are, do you want to explain what those are? Just in case if we have some new people?
Watch our previous episodes.
Alright.
You'll figure it
Get caught up.
We're on episode 25
Welcome
tonight.
to new people, if you were
Yeah,
here.
welcome.
Welcome.
Sorry that my GMs are rude.
We've got so much to cover.
Yes, we
So
want
much
to
story.
we want
so
to be
little
inclusive
time.
to the new people who've just joined in, but I want to let you know that we're on episode 25. So you've got 1 through 24 to catch up on, and I do believe we had an episode 0.
I don't know anymore.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm pretty sure when the characters actually come in, we can do a brief
Description.
protect description.
Heck yes.
Yes.
We'll work it in.
So, here we go.
Bam. Last we left, the away team had wandered into one of the nearby villages where they had begun speaking with the locals about an individual they're seeking. They've come to this isle trying to find an old soldier by the name of Rowan. Roagon. And see if I got some other notes back here. Yes, they had come to the isle seeking this old soldier and any information they could find of him. And they were able to find one of his shipmates or one of his compatriots that was in his mercenary unit. Did we get a name for him?
Also start with an O or an R.
Oh yeah, it was like
Hold on,
oh
I think it's in
god.
my notes. Ragnar.
Ragnar.
And he gave guidance to tell them how to find the entrance into the secret fortress that they utilized. And by they, he's referring to Roagon and Zelagar, a warrior and a wizard of great renown. And the party set out, and it was a bit difficult. It wasn't very difficult terrain to get through. It was just
It was so cold.
it was cold at some point, so we all had to bundle up, and some people had to even snuggle up.
I have a question.
Yes.
Because I honestly forgot or didn't know which is which. Is Ragnar or the other guy, the wizard or knight?
Zelagar is
Zelagar is the wizard.
and
Roagon is the warrior you're looking for, or the fighter who comes from the
okay.
Republic. And Ragnar is the name of one of the commanders that was from his old mercenary unit that retired in the town.
Right.
we've also
So
retired all our names for the rest of the time.
Her phone likes to make that noise a lot.
Yeah, I'm fixing
she's just
that.
so popular.
She is.
Oh, yeah, that's a one word for it.
Haha.
There we go.
And so we got to the entranceway, and Thomas made a realization about it and the magic that he was feeling around it. Do you remember what that was, Paige?
Barely, but remind me.
It was Elven.
Right.
Elven
Because of the
magic
writing and the magic, yeah.
seemed, and so that was like, your first inspiration. And then you all tried to sneak in, and that was terrible.
One person snuck in, I thought, but it wasn't one of us.
It was
Certainly wasn't
Arya.
me.
While
Arya, man.
she
Yeah.
was riding on Norish's shoulders.
Yeah, pretty much.
The ground
so
was
stealthy on his
She's the only
shoulders.
one not making noise because she's not walking on the ground.
the ground's covered with gravel and grit, and so every step you make makes a crunching sound. And of course, Kodrog's mail makes light chinking sound as he walks, or metal on metal.
Yeah.
And Thomas, you don't make really any noise when you walk, so you guys were not really quiet, but quiet enough,
Maybe.
considering the background noise
Well-
of water and clatter.
It's also grindstone boots. I'm sure, like, if we didn't change our
that's
boots,
Yeah,
right.
that's why. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Somebody
Thank you.
didn't
Yeah, I
change
was gonna-
into
I was
their
gonna-
walking shoes.
Neat.
Yeah, I didn't want to, like, correct you because I was like, if you look at Thomas's design, he totally has grindstone boots on 24/7.
Sounds like a drill sergeant
Click,
walking
tap,
around.
click, tap.
And that's where we left off. You guys had walked into this hall, and oh no, last and most important part, Thomas had summoned up the magical energies to create a sphere of light around you guys.
Yeah.
So you could see. And there was statues, and everything was kind of crumbly, and there was fresco on the wall with painting on it and stuff like that had fallen on the ground, and so
There were statues that were literally skinned for their gold because they were all crusted in gold.
Yep.
yes, that is correct. You definitely picked up on that one. Good.
Yeah.
And so that's where we left off, in this hallway and in this situation.
Yay.
So we'll start with that, and this is pretty free-formed. You guys can, either one who wants to start off can. Narish and Arya, of course, being NPCs, are going to pretty much follow your lead.
Mm-hmm.
Did we end the game at a door that was locked?
I
No.
swear.
No, okay.
I
that's
thought we
just me
ended a
imagining
game
something.
where we saw, like, it was either we saw somebody or we heard someone in a hallway because they were standing.
Oh,
Because,
yeah.
yeah, because basically what happened, because I remember when we ended it and I was like, oh shit, we're going to get into combat next session because they were, like, multiple people.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
So-
this hallway.
You are, from where you're standing at, you can see the hallway is about 80 to 90 feet length. And there are other alcoves with statues between where you're at and where they're at. And you can see people. Yeah, they're somewhere down here.
They're over here.
They're over here.
They only hear them.
Okay, so they only hear them. Okay, so yeah, you only hear people
Fighting.
fighting.
Right.
Ooh,
Okay.
ooh, I know what to do. I know what to do. I don't need that open anymore. Where's my spell sheet? Shit. I know what it's called. I know what it is. I just don't know what it's called.
Oh. While Thomas is searching his spell book, I draw my maul axe and my dagger.
Okay. Narish will bring up his fists and ready to fight while pushing Arya off him. I
Yeah.
think that would be appropriate.
Yes. Although I don't think he fights with his fists. He does use weapons. That's for fun.
So maybe he has cestus
I
or
have no idea.
punch
what that
daggers.
is.
A cestus is a fair enough. Cestus is a gauntlet with like spikes or stones on it on the front of it for
I
the
guess if
purpose
that's
of
what you wanna go
beating the
for.
crap out of
There we go.
someone.
Okay, I found what I would like to cast. And you know what? I don't even think he can cast this.
With enough blood, he can.
You are right, but it is divine.
Oh.
Yeah. That's up to the GMs or not, because I know that we really haven't talked about Thomas's abilities.
Are you trained in divine casting? Because I know you're trained in nature casting and arcane casting.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think I am.
If you're not,
I want
then
to
you-
let me
Yeah,
double check because I know I
yeah.
took something else recently.
Yeah. Honestly, I would say no.
Yeah, if you're not. So the sound of combat is not halted just because Thomas is flipping through the book. At this
Oh no,
point.
no, yeah, you
Would you,
continue while he's.
Kodrog, you've drawn your weapons.
No, I don't.
Narish has readied his. I don't know. You think cestus or
No,
gauntlets are too much, or
Well, I don't think that he's that kind of melee fighter when he's on the job. I think that's his pastime.
okay?
I found a spell that works.
Beating people is his pastime.
So we'll say for this, he is he has drawn out hatchets because
Yeah.
those are good melee plus thrown, and their
And then you can
utility.
hit somebody on the back of the head with them.
Nice.
So he has
And
hatchets.
full on board ship.
I should get a book for like props. I found a spell that will work because it is druidic and divine. So
What spell are we going to be casting?
I'll post it in chat. It's called Light of Phoenix. That's weird. From darkness comes a blazing phoenix that flies next to their summoner, creating light around them. The phoenix can fly ahead of the party to light up dark areas. What I'm hoping is if I can summon this thing and get it to fly ahead, it can be basically seeing eyes, and I'm hoping that's possible. Because it is technically a phoenix.
It'll also be like sounding the trumpets announcing our presence.
Yeah, it is glowing.
So I'm gonna look to Narish and whisper, "Let's sneak ahead some and see if we can see who's fighting who, and which
Okay.
side we should join."
You move farther down the hallway. The sound of combat definitely drowns out the sound that you make as you move. Narish sees this as an opportunity to speed up, because if he can hear this, it's crunching he's making, but the sound of stab, bang, scream, oh no, it's over there, get it. You hear multiple, like 2, maybe 3 voices yelling.
Great acting there.
Yeah.
So Narish picks up the speed and begins heading toward an upcoming intersection. Statues both on the left and right of the hallway, same as beforehand, stripped of their outer covering. A flight of stairs ahead of you, only about 4 steps at most, something you can easily bound above. Just leap from the ground up. The old tattered carpet lines the hall. Whoever built this place spent a lot of money, because this is a lot of fucking carpet. You don't even understanding how expensive carpet is.
Yeah.
Like a dungeon. So ahead of you is a 4-way intersection. And beyond it, there's no light, so as you get closer, you can see that the light is coming, or a light is coming from what would be described as the left-hand turn to you. Do you want to stay ahead of Narish, behind Narish, with him on his side? How do you want to do this?
I'll stay just like a couple steps behind.
Okay.
And when we get to the corner, like I'll keep him from going around until I've had a look. Yeah.
All right. So, Thomas, you summon the Phoenix, and where do you want to send it?
Well, I mean, if the two are gonna sneak ahead, then I'm sure that they would have mentioned that, because I wasn't even thinking that it fucking glows. Yeah, it would definitely be
Yeah, and I would have whispered loud enough for the group to hear, but not loud enough to shout for echoing down the hallway. So yeah.
Exactly. And I feel like Thomas would have been, he opening up his book and being like, well, I could send something down the hallway, but when he reads the description, I'm sure Kojark would be like, did you say it glows? Like...
Phoenix, that's a firebird, isn't it?
Right? Burning firebird.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to if I stealth forward, would I have to re-roll?
No, we're not rolling stealth right now. The screaming and sounds of combat are loud enough that you are...
Okay.
Blood curdling.
I'll move up
screams
with them.
and screeches, inhuman screeches.
All right. There's an intersection with... the 4-way intersection is castled by a pillar in the center that has got buttresses supporting the entire complex, and so it's a nice big central support pillar that dominates this intersection, as well as the remnants of stonework that's on the ground and a few pieces of litter, such as pots, pans, and stuff like that. It looks like people have damaged this place, so it looks like something. John, you stop Narish as you're heading up the stairs. You stop him and you're looking around the corner. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
Perception check from you, and we'll do a perception check for Narish.
Yeah, it's awareness, right?
Should Arya be paying attention enough to as well?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, and then Thomas, you should make a perception as well. Sorry, awareness.
Is a
got
4 a critical success?
Yes, it is.
That's what I got.
Nice.
4 on a 14.
Good shit, man.
All right. As you move up to the intersection to look around the corner, your eyes take notice that this center column is useless. Your dwarven knowledge of construction is crap in comparison to like a more skilled individual, but you realize that the walls around you, the 4 intersections, are already supported. This pillar in the center is there for show, and so it, in your dwarfish mind, it clicks like, no, wait, stop. And you get to like the half-second step, and you're like, you look up, and about halfway up that column, there is a big pair of lips in the middle of the column.
Ooh.
Stone lips. You hear a scream
Wait.
from down around the corner, and another scream, and then you hear just one voice going, "No, get away!" Sounds of metal on flesh.
I got a 10 out of 13, by the way.
Okay. Wouldn't have noticed the lips, but definitely the scream and the litter on the ground.
What shape are the lips in? Are they in like a I'm
Like a
spitting
woman's
at you
lips.
motion? Like a kind of a
Nope.
okay.
Just like a pair of resting lips. I guess that's the best way to describe it.
You know, it's just It's like
Okay.
it's like a pillar, and somebody decided to carve a mouth into it.
Or just the shape of the lips
Yeah.
on the pillar. Thomas, you will probably, since Kodrog's now hesitating at this point, as he's like, what the? Your eyes will go from where he's looking at, not around the corner, and then gaze up toward the pillar.
So this lips? Like,
Yes.
just on the wall?
No, on a
the
pillar.
pillar in the middle of the 4-way intersection.
Does it look organic?
No.
No.
No, it's like
Can
carved
I-
there.
It looks
Yeah,
like
can I-
somebody carved a pair of lips into a pillar.
Does it look like a trap? Because that's my
You
first
have
thought.
no knowledge of.
Yeah.
I mean, this is your description that you get.
Yeah.
if you can't determine if this
It's
is a
pair
trap
of
or not.
lips carved into a pillar.
How big are they? Are they like someone, like, I don't know, some crazy dude was lonely and was just like, I'm gonna make lips on this pillar, and then
I would say they're. I would say the lips would be about the same size as an average human head.
okay, well,
they're
if we
big.
walk past, we're dead. That's
Okay,
what I
yeah.
figured.
So
If this was to bite you, it's going to take something off. But
Exactly.
I'm gonna look for like a pressure plate or
Nope.
look to see if the lips spit acid or
no acid stains, no
No?
pressure plates. You aced your perception.
Oh my god.
Can I look at it with magic?
Yes. And you see that the
I look
area
at it.
is magical. Beyond the last step, there is
Yeah.
a magical zone of some type. It's a communication spell that is laid into the area that is associated with those lips.
A communication spell.
Yep. You step in that area and the lips will speak.
Sweet.
That's it.
Okay. So
Thomas will mutter something about a communication spell as he's just gazing at this lips and being like, this is weird. Like,
Well, I mean, you are walking into someone's home, so I mean,
yeah, like I said, the guy got lonely. He did magic, and he's like, someone's got to talk to me. And this pillar's looking real good. So
what are the current sounds from down the hallway? Has the fighting clattered down?
Oh, no.
Is it severely silent?
It's screeching and horrifying sounds.
Oh,
stay
okay.
away! Get away from me! Right?
Oh no, it's just like straight up like,
Screaming.
yeah.
do
Okay.
you said we hear?
When you're faced with true terror,
Yep.
are you going to talk to it?
No, you're not. Especially if you realize it doesn't understand you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the thing. You said we heard inhuman sounds.
Inhuman screeching, yes.
Can I roll? Oh god, I know I took something. Yeah, can I roll monsters to see what it is from the sound? Or void
Yeah, agreed.
or nature?
It would be a
Or-
knowledge monsters or a knowledge. Yeah, that's about all you got to go with. Knowledge monsters.
Yeah, I have Arcana too, but yeah, monsters. I have monsters. I have
Go for
13
it.
of them. So. Ba-da-ba. Ba-da. All right.
No.
Well, 8. 8 out of 13. I
Mhm.
gotta grab my other dice. It fell. Ow! Fuck.
She got an 8 out of 13.
8 out of
Yeah,
13.
8 out of 13. Yeah.
Definitely, you have the knowledge that whatever was that inhuman scream was, I don't want to say familiar because I'm pretty sure your character has never seen these things before, but you have a really good understanding that anything that...
What about like a book with descriptions of the sounds or whatever?
I just...
No.
Yeah.
I know, like
description of a
that's
sound
a
and
stretch,
hearing
but like
it are
there's a
two
difference
very
between
different
words telling you what it
things.
is and
I can just
seeing
see
it.
see the book entry. It's like, and this monster says, ah.
no, it would be like,
monster.
if you typically hear a hissing, it's a snake, type of
Right,
thing.
yeah,
Like,
no, this is not distinctive. Unfortunately, your skill roll was really good, and I'd have to say yes, but I just can't see it as being something distinctive enough that it would be written in a book.
Yeah.
It's
is
not
it something that like, is this like a family animal, like dogs with wolves type of thing, like it's all canine? Is it something like that?
No.
Is it something that, I don't know, the druids would have talked about
No.
and then mimicked sounds and danced around with it?
No.
No.
All right.
No, unfortunately, that's it's definitely out of the purview of something druids would normally deal with.
What about like a nightmare or a dream? I'm just trying to help. I'm trying to help you, and I'm also trying to help Thomas because I want something out of this role.
Sometimes there's nothing to get.
Yeah, the knowledge you would have to have, I shouldn't have said you can roll because you would have to have had some experience with it.
Yeah, that's
And I just don't, I take my statement back, I apologize. I just don't see how, like, a terrifying scream is something that is learned through a book.
Yeah.
It's one of those
yeah.
things learned firsthand. I mean, maybe there's like a list of monsters that have terrifying screams.
We're gonna
Well,
move forward.
Yeah.
move forward
So Thomas has said it's something about a communication spell. That doesn't sound like it's gonna kill us if we keep going. So I'm gonna say, okay, let's keep heading down the hallway.
Oh, I dropped
In my loud, raspy whisper, so it doesn't echo
Does
over our crunching gravel
this
sounds.
like monster scream sound big?
It sounds terrifying.
Yeah, I could say
Alright.
I could say big. I could say big. Big is a good description for the sound of the voice. All right. When you step onto the final step, the lips move and yell. Who dares enter this place and intrude upon the sanctuary of its inhabitants? Only a group of foolhardy explorers doomed to certain death. Woe to any who pass this place. The wrath of Zelagar and Roagon will be upon them. The lips
Echo.
echo. The
Dang
sounds
it.
of combat down the hallway
Persist.
persist.
Can I tell if this is like a pre-recorded spell or if these are like enchanted? So like
Yeah.
if I spoke to it, it would speak back.
No, it's pre-recorded.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think Thomas is just gonna go, yeah, okay. And just like turn and walk. Keep walking. Like,
Eventually,
on,
as one
Zeligar.
person keeps walking by, it like stutters and starts over
Did you
again.
think I was joking?
Like, who dares? Walk.
Who dares?
is there any way just
Aria.
a hand wave to mute it?
And then at the end, Arya steps up and then steps back, and then steps up and then steps back, just to see
Yeah,
how many
yeah.
times it'll go off.
I was gonna say, can Thomas at this point, as it's just going, whoo, like like an owl? Can Thomas just like, can he disenchant this or some shit really quick?
No, not quick. It takes about a minute's worth of magical focus to turn
Okay,
it off.
it's not worth it then for a joke. All right.
Well, yeah, no, I get it. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it's like turning off your car alarm when it starts going off at 3 a.m.
You gotta get your
You gotta
keys,
key
walk
out,
outside.
Just go get in the car.
All sorts of stupid shit.
Meanwhile,
Oh,
your
man.
neighbors are like, "The fuck, man? I'm trying to sleep." So, John, you get up to the step. It makes this loud sound, and as you look around the corner, you see.
So he's there?
Yeah, he's
Oh.
looking around the corner.
You see 3 best to describe as like humanoid, animalistic, kind of gray-skinned creatures surrounding a Phalang who is using 2 daggers to keep them away. You see 2 bodies on the ground right now that look to have been, for lack of a better word, chunks bitten out of them and then dead.
Ooh.
The creatures that are moving, he's trying to defend himself from being flanked where he can't reach, and then he sees he's heard the noise, he turns, he sees you, and in that moment one of them that was waiting for him to make a mistake reaches forward, wraps like their entire long kind of spindly clawed fingers around his arm, and and then the rest of him stops moving.
Once it makes physical contact.
Except for his eyes, which you can see are filled with abject horror as he looks to you before the other 2 latch on and pull, ripping the arm off of the Failing, while the others bite in and tear chunks out of his chest and out of his neck.
As Kodrog speaking on the corner, Thomas is also going to peek around the corner. Just so I want to see. I want to see.
It's like we're all at the corner, just putting our heads around.
You can only see our eyes.
Wow.
Now do I know what they are after I looked at them?
No.
Some sort of, yeah, she would recognize the general physique and features are undead of some type.
Yeah.
Okay. But they're like animalistic?
Yes, their visage or their the way they hunch, the fact that limbs are just as long. Their legs and arms are about as long as equally proportioned, because humans and legs and arms aren't the same proportions.
Okay, so they're like Wendigos.
Yeah, hairless Wendigos.
Because, I mean,
What
that are like
Chewbacca
hairless
would look
werewolves.
like if he got shaved.
Or like the underground people. How many are there? 3?
3.
Okay. So it's not the wizard and what's his face. It's not like they went in here and went crazy. Maybe these are what elves look like. We are in an elven area and we don't know what
Maybe
they look
this
like.
is what elves look like.
I mean, hey!
Majestic race of the elves who built great citadels, powerful magical items, and ships to travel all across the void.
You don't judge a book by its cover, alright? Fuck you!
You're right, you're right. They could
Just
be.
because they look like that and they eat people doesn't mean that they're super advanced. Right?
Touche. Let's go kill some elves.
So, as you're standing there,
I
do you
guess-
want to do anything?
Yeah, you have about 3 seconds. What do you do in 3 seconds?
Charge.
Charge?
All right.
I am going to cast a spell.
All right, so you're stepping out to stand upright, cast your spell. Naresh
Yeah.
sees that you're charging Kodrog, so he too is going to jump out to charge. These things, this one who's holding an arm, who has heard the loud bellowing from down the hall, is taking a bite out of the Failing's arm and is making eye contact. So for him, there is no surprise round as far as that goes, because he knows that you're there charging.
But the other 2 are
are
quite busy.
Quite busy ripping apart his body.
Guttural, burbling, blood-soaked screaming from the dying Failing.
So I'm gonna be charging the closest one that's not paying attention, unless I'm traveling through the threat area of the one that's looking at me.
You will.
Dang it.
I thought it'd be like back. Because if he would have to be behind them, because he would, or else he would have those back to them.
That's true. Okay, so no, she's right. You can definitely charge down the hallway to one of them that are feasting upon the Failing. I love that, feasting on the Failing.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Delicious!
Wonderful.
The Fey Feastling.
Feastling.
A feastling. Can that just be a race, please? A feastling? Just a Failing that just likes to eat a lot?
It's hobbits.
It's hobbits.
Hobbits.
Feastlings.
Yeah, feastlings.
All
Okay,
right.
so let's do some initiative. Initiative was a number of d6 based upon your character's information. Everybody gets a d6 and you add your action in. If some people get more than one d6. I believe Arya gets 2 and Naresh gets 1.
That was a lot of words that my brain didn't understand.
Okay.
Played pages. How do I do initiative again?
Your initiative. Go ahead.
You have a reaction score
Yeah.
on your character sheet,
Mhm.
and in the cell next to mine, it also has a number.
Yeah,
D6.
same. Mine's
So
just
you roll that
1d6.
number and then add the reaction number.
And like in
the
Shadowrun,
reaction.
you're going to get 2 actions in the round, and if you get a
Okay.
10, you're going to get. Sorry, if you get a 5, you're going to get 2. If you get a 10, you're going to get 3, and you get a 15, you're going to get 4 actions.
Well, I got 1, and then my reaction's 3, so 4.
So you'll still get your 2.
Sweet. That's
And,
that's
I
shitty
rolled 8, and
roll.
my reaction is a 1, so 9.
So that gives an order of how we're going and how many actions you get. Arya is going on 14,
Jeepers.
Jesus.
and Narish is going on 8.
Excellent.
Okay, so I will write this down.
Dry ribs.
Right. So dry ribs are just easier for me to eat because sauce doesn't get everywhere.
It's
But
fair.
also, I feel like sauce is just messy in general.
You should invent a face mask for bearded men to eat meat.
Oh, I just need something that holds my mustache up like this.
Yeah,
so that I
exactly.
can eat ribs and chicken legs
Exactly.
and ice cream.
Yeah,
cereal,
just make a mask that you
soup in general.
Sort of
that
weird
ties it on
cone
your
thing.
ears and that flips it up, and then also has a bid underneath it. You could call it the go-to, goatee, because it looks like a goatee, but it's a go-to.
I don't know. It's like the catfish. You gotta pull the catfish whiskers up out of the way.
There you go. Call it the catfish.
It
No, but
just
people might get the
looks-
wrong idea.
Just looks amazing when you do that.
Trademark. It's patented. You can't have this. This is mine.
All right, Arya gets to go first.
Okay.
Um,
What weapons does she?
as far as I remember, she only has a rapier.
Yeah.
It should. Well, hold on. May I suggest something?
Sure.
Because I know Max has the list. She could be a bard. I have written so many spells that are songs, and since she plays her little pan flute or something, she could be a bard.
She has no magical skills, nor has she been trained. She's an acrobat, so unfortunately, she
Oh.
cannot give a buff or anything like that. She can play her flute and give you guys encouragement in the sense that, oh, that sounds like really great dinner music for the ghouls. She's got that. What she can do
That could
is,
be encouraging.
I don't think she's a meleeist at this point in time. I think she would wait
I think that
for
she
the
would.
opportunity to support.
I think that she's going to do a feint to try to, throw them off a little bit more to make it easier for the 2 stronger melee people to have a good shot without them getting attacked.
Sounds good. So she'll be using her perform ability to get their attention. Even though the ones are eating, the one that is watching, she's going to stand to one side of the hallway and be like, hey, look at me over here.
Oh, she's gonna do some acrobatics. I'm sure there's some stuff hanging on the walls, like sconces, so she can swing up and try to get to a higher angle and draw their attention away from.
Sure,
from
I can
where
see
the things
that
are
being
running, so, yeah.
useful. Let's make a perform roll. Yeah, she makes it. So John, Narish, and Kodrog will receive their skills basically 1 point higher for the purpose of attacking the ghouls if they're paying attention, or at least you're in their combat range, because she's providing that distraction. That's one of her actions, and the other action was getting up the wall, so she still has 1 action left,
Yeah.
which she can use later on.
Exactly.
All right, Kodrog, you're next with your 2
All
actions.
right. Charging counts as an action.
It can be part of an attack, but you can only attack with whatever you're holding. So you can run forward and hit with both weapons.
Awesome. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna swipe across with my dagger and swing down with my axe, with my maul axe. 14 is my melee. I get 1, so that's 15, and then I lose 2 because I'm attacking with both weapons at once.
That's correct.
Awesome. So 13. Oh my gosh. 12 on a 13.
Okay, that still hits.
Yeah.
So you're doing a dagger damage with the slashing. Are you stabbing with the dagger or slashing with it?
Slashing with it.
Okay, and the axe you're chopping with that?
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right, go ahead and do the damage. You're going to need to do it separately because the ghouls do not suffer the same damage from slashing weapons as they do with the chopping weapon.
Oh, okay. So let's see. Malax says 66.
All right, remember
Dagger says 3d6.
4, 5, and 6 are the important ones.
Okay. So I'll do the Malax first. I got 4, 5, 4. So that's 3 successes.
For the Malax?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Because it's a chopping weapon, the ghoul's natural armor knocks off 1, so it's 2. It makes 1 with its body, so it takes 1 point of chop damage. Your axe goes in, but does not seem to penetrate as deep as you thought it would. What about your dagger with your slash
dagger? 2 2s and a 1.
Oh man, the blade slides across the flesh, opens bits up, but does not seem to have any true effect on the creature. No blood comes out or anything.
All right.
More gray, muscular tissue.
Gross.
Yeah.
I do have a
Like you
question,
cut
just
it, but
because
nothing happened.
I'm curious. When he slices into it, does it feel meaty? Like cutting into a person?
I wouldn't describe it as cutting into a person. I would describe it as...
Persons are still relatively soft.
Yeah, this isn't
when
soft.
they're alive.
Yeah. Okay.
I would say this is more like cutting into a corpse.
Okay.
All right, Naresh's turn. You want to roll?
Sure.
Okay.
What
I'll
am I
stick up with the
rolling?
ghouls. He's going to charge forward with his 2 hatchets, just like John did. He has a 10, plus 1 is 11.
Yeah.
And
So he gets his attack.
All right, so he hits, and the hatchets that he is using do 5 dice in damage. So he's going to roll 5 dice twice. Because it's both chopping damage, he can just... Yeah. All right, so it's 1, 2, and the other one?
3, 4, 5.
5 in total. All right, so we knock off 1, and then I roll the ghoul's body for 1 more. So of the 5, the ghoul's able to ignore 2 of those. Naresh runs forward and chops into the same ghoul. His weapons dig in deep and bounce the creature off to one side, knocking him off and revealing the gruesome remains of the failing at this point in time. The creature rolls for a bit as he pulls back his weapons and is now on the ground looking up at you guys because you just threw a whole force of your weight, of your attack, onto this one. It's getting back up. As if those 4 stabs and slashes meant nothing to it. All right.
Cool.
That's Naresh's action as well. You still have an action left, and you can save it for like dodging, getting out of the way, or moving back, or you can press the attack onto another one. Naresh, of course, is going to save his as well. And now it's the ghoul's turns. The one that's eating is not going to pay attention to you guys. He doesn't care. He's going to grab the failing that's left of it, gurgling and bleeding, drag it away as he's hissing like you guys have come to take his food away. The one that you attacked, on the other hand, is using an action to stand up and then spring towards you. In doing so, he presents an opportunity for you guys to get in some free hits as he's trying to get up on his feet. You can do a double swing at him again, or single swing, however you want to attack. Naresh is going to do Naresh is going to do a single swing and throw everything into it for a power attack.
Yep, I'm going to do a double swing, but this time using the hammerhead of the axe and stabbing with the dagger.
Okay, so you're going to roll versus an 11 again.
Oh.
And you got an 8 versus 11, so you made it by 3. That'll increase the dice by 1. He's calling for a power attack, so he adds another dice. So he's going to be doing 7 dice of damage.
Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4.
4 total, knocking off 1, so that's 3. Did I grab the wrong ones? I apologize. And there's 1. So it stops 2 out of 4. No, that doesn't... You did 4, right?
Yes.
So that's 2. So there's now 4, 5, 6. Okay. He leaps forward with his hatchet, bearing deep into the creature, and he rips. And when he does, you can see that he definitely breaks into the chest bones of the creature and pulls as it's coming up, and he's like pressing down. The creature is using all of its strength to push up off the ground, and in doing so, he actually pushes Naresh back. You see the creature is so strong that his just stand up fast speed is a good blow, but it doesn't seem to affect this sinuous thing. What is your attack?
My blows will. It's 12 on a 13 again.
Excellent.
So the bludgeoning is... Ooh, that's 2, 4,
Did that just
5.
last action?
No, this isn't like an attack of opportunity.
Okay.
Yep, so that's 5.
5
successes.
damage?
Yeah,
Ouch,
with bludgeoning.
With the bludgeoning. Okay. The creature has no resistance versus bludgeoning, so it all goes through. It makes its body roll and gets nothing. As it's standing up, Narisha's efforts to keep it down puts it in a prime position, but as it pushes off Narisha and starts to stand up, your level-headed swing hits it onto the side of the head, concaving its skull in very quickly. 6, 11, beats its 10 points of damage that it can actually take. The creature reels to one side and goes down in a lump. The other one that's behind it with the hand sees that his friend's gone down, and it's going to leap past you guys, and on top of, we're going to either do odd for Kodrog, even for Naresh. It is even. He leaps onto the big meleeer with his 2 axes.
Then, like, Arya's distraction. Because she has that.
Yes, she is trying to distract
And
him.
he also has a dodge.
Yes. All right. The creature makes an 8 out of its 10, and so it would be a successful hit. Naresh is going to utilize his dodge. He got a 6 out of his 12, so he's just like sidestepping. He definitely gets out of the way. John, when he does this, the creature shoots past the 2 of you. Do you have any benefits like combat expertise to allow you to get more than 1 attack?
Let's see. I have combat spec training. That is composure, toughness, reactions. No.
No, it would be called combat reactions or combat mastery.
No, I don't believe so.
Okay, that's fine. That's something you can think about picking up later. All right, so it leaps past you. It's a great opportunity, but you're just smashed this one thing's head in. A lot of shit's happening very quickly. This puts the ghoul past you guys, behind Narish and you, and within a short distance of Arya and a bit more distance of Thomas, because Thomas, you just walked around the corner and you have started to cast your spell, right? You didn't actually run down the hall with the rest of them.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a hallway. I thought we were walking into a room.
No, it's about a 20-foot hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just need line of sight,
It's like
that's all.
a T-junction.
All right, well, that's the ghouls. Thomas, your action.
Great. I'd like to cast a spell. I'll walk a little closer if need be, but I just think I need line of sight for this one. Crushing Stone. If stone is nearby, the stone below the caster's foe rumbles and opens up into a hole. The hole suddenly closes, crushing their foe, causing 2d6 points of damage and breaking bones.
Awesome. All right, go ahead and make your Arcana roll.
Sure. I don't know where my Arcana is. I just saw it too. Dropping all my dice. Awareness. Okay, found it. Hold on, sorry. My dice is getting stuck in the castle. Alright. 7 out of 13?
Excellent.
Yeah, 13.
You did really good, so you can increase the damage by 1. So it's 3d6. The rubble, the stones underneath begin rolling around to try to... And this is the ghoul that's moved past Narish? Or is it the ghoul that's dragged the failing body away?
The one that's moved past Narish.
Okay.
6. 6. 5.
All right, so 3 points of damage. It's bludgeoning, so all it gets is its normal resistance. and it gets 2, so it'll take 1. So now its foot is caught in the stonework, as the stonework has basically rolled in on itself. So the creature is pinned until it can break free. All right. That's Thomas's turn. That's one of your actions. You still have one more action left. Oh, wait, no, you said you moved in some, didn't you?
Yeah, just so I could actually get closer and cast this thing.
All right. That leaves the last actions, which are Kodrog and the ghoul who walked backwards. Kodrog, you could go first, but the ghoul who's walked backwards sees that you are kind of like turned and faced in a side direction, and he seems to be making eyes at you. Do you want to turn to face him? Do you want to make another action for the ghoul who's now pinned behind the group?
I'm gonna throw my dagger at the one making eyes at me.
All right.
And I'm gonna do a called shot for his face.
Okay.
Okay.
You have the called shot modifiers in front of you?
No, I do not.
I don't either.
Oh, okay.
I do believe it's a 4, though.
Okay, so I just have to get a 9 or lower.
Okay.
Oh gosh, that sounds scary. Oh, I got
You got what?
an 11.
All right. You hurtle your
You get
dagger and
those
flies
11s
past him.
out of 12s all the time.
Your dagger hurtles past and lands on the ground behind. The creature actually kind of deftly moved to one side as the dagger comes. He hunches down onto the ground and then springs forward, firing himself at you specifically.
Oh, dang it.
His skill is a 10 and he makes an 11. He needed... So, as you throw the dagger and he dodges out of the way, he leaps and you move back the other direction, and now the ghouls are behind you, or between you and pretty much the rest of the party.
Yes, the ghouls are...
Oh, good. I'm
Fine.
separated.
Yes, you are separated. All right. So that round went by pretty quick. I'm very happy my combat system works so fluidly. Yay. Let's do some more initiative. Oh, Arya still has an action left. I forgot.
She doesn't have any ranged weapons. So.
No, and she's probably not going to jump off the
No.
where she's hanging from to go stab something.
No.
She's going to be like, I don't know what that is. It looks scary as shit.
I got an 8.
All right, he is going on 11. Look at that. No, he's going on 5.
Yeah.
And she's going on
13. Because it was 2 4s last time.
yes, I can suddenly do math. What do you got, Kodrog?
6.
All right, Arya gets to go first, and she's got 3 actions.
Whatever.
Flashes the foes.
Were her distractions doing anything? Like,
Right.
It was giving you guys a bonus to attack,
oh yeah.
because
Sure. Then you're the DM. This is a DM character, so you decide what she does.
I
don't
think-
really care.
okay. She'll continue. She'll try to bump up her distraction by getting off of her location, and actually hitting one in the head with a rock from the ground.
Okay.
Like pick up a rock and throw it. Nope. It misses. All right.
She pulled a Kodrog.
She pulled a Kodrak. Thomas. 2
Yes.
actions.
Okay, I'd like to cast a spell.
Of course. I
Again.
would expect nothing else.
Fireball.
Yeah.
Let's burn it all down.
Okay. Yes, this is what I think I can cast. I think it's in the realm of magic. Alright. Guillotine. The caster takes damage as they cut any wound or use a wound that they already have to create 2 blood scimitars. These scimitars can be thrown or to cut off limbs of their foes, causing 2d6 points of damage with each blade.
Excellent.
So Thomas is gonna take out his dagger and start cutting himself, and do you want me to roll 2d6 points of damage?
No, you don't
for
do
myself?
damage to yourself. You take a point of damage, that's it.
Okay, point of damage.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because that would be terrible. I do...
no, I mean like
My own blood scimitars.
still. Alright. Sweet. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7.
On your Arcana?
Yeah, 7 out of 13.
All right, spell's successful. You'll get an extra dice to the damage of the scimitars. You have 2 of these creatures between you and Kodrog, and 1 between you and Narish. Which one do you want to target?
I'll stay with the one that's tied up
Okay.
right now. And I'm aiming to cut its head off, possibly.
Okay,
I got
so you
3
make a call
5s.
shot.
I got 3 5s.
All right. The creature is resistant by 2 points of damage from slashing, and because of these blades, so that means it's only 1 point of damage.
That's fine.
The creature does take a point of damage to its head from one of the blades, and no damage from the other blade, but the blades themselves do harm it. Mark that down.
Great. I don't cut off its head, though.
No.
That was my main goal. Alright.
I was just understandable, but
That's fine, as long as I did something.
It's
I'm
nearly
happy.
headless Nick now.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to also... They're undead. And no matter what we do, I feel like they're just gonna keep getting back up and trying to kill us, so... I'm doing what zombie movies have taught me.
doing double tap. All right,
Pretty much.
you have one other action left. You can cast either another spell, or you can make some other action, like to move away.
Yeah, I'd like to cast another spell.
Do you have the mana for it?
I might be cutting
Oh wait,
into...
no, wait. You had to do the dagger thing. I'm sorry. You had to cut yourself.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you said I had another action, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna argue. Like,
You're right.
if I
I
can
got
cast
corrected.
again.
All right. The ghoul's turn. They go on 7. The one that's trapped is going to try to break free at this point in time.
Oh, good luck. You might break your foot.
Gonna gnaw its foot off.
It will spend the round grabbing the rubble and pulling the rubble back and fighting with the magic on its first action, and be unsuccessful. So it's going to attempt again. It is stuck in its current position.
Does the stone break his foot at all?
Oh. Never mind. It's too late.
Allergies.
No, the stone's not crushing his foot. He has, like, I would describe it as like a resilient undead strength
Oh, okay.
that keeps him from being easily crushed by
Sure.
the stone.
Sure.
All right. The other ghoul is next to Kodrog, is going to reach out and touch him. It's called Shot for Your Face.
No.
He will hit. Do you want to dodge?
Yeah.
And it's not like he's trying to claw or anything. He's just like reaching out slowly to touch you on your face.
Yeah, no, I'm dodging that.
All right.
Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. Dodge is a thing, right? Did I roll?
Yes. Acrobatics.
Oh, okay. This should be easy. I just gotta get under a 7. 6, 5, 3.
One dice is under a 7. All dice are under a
Well.
7. That's great. All right.
It caresses my beard.
All right.
Finds my chin.
Yeah, he caresses your face, and your body begins getting numb. You need to make a toughness check. It's at a
Is this
-2, so I think
Oh,
you have
shit.
like a 9. So you have to get
Is
under a
this the
7
episode
again.
where we lose Kodra?
My toughness is a 2.
So 10. Your roll is 8 higher than whatever it is, so you're 10. -2 because of their touch, so you got to get it 8 or less.
Oh, good. I'm good, really good at rolling low.
So far tonight, 12 is the magic number.
5. 2 1s and a 3.
Holy crap!
Oh shit!
Your dwarven ancestral blood pulses through your body and begins destroying the toxins that just flood through your system. You
You
realize
really need to like save those dice, man.
Yeah.
you can feel your body's numbness kicking in like severe alcoholism.
And you feel so tense and tight. You know, like how when you get like the like lockjaw, except your
Oh.
entire body.
Ooh,
Gross.
ooh, that's
But
not
you're
comfortable.
fighting it. Congratulations, you won. That was the first attack.
Whew.
He's going to make a kind of a slight adjust to get away from Narish and try to touch you in the face again. Um,
Oh, I think.
yes, that is a success. So
Am I using actions when I dodge?
Yes,
Okay, so I'm gonna use my second action to try and dodge this one.
that is correct. Right now you're on. Right now you've gone all defensive this round because he's right up in your business.
Do I get any bonuses for being all defensive? Under a 7, let's do it. 6, 5, 1.
Again with the 12. Again, make your save. Yeah, he's reached up and just ran both of his hands across your face.
Oh gosh, I hope I make the second save. That would just be
I
epic.
do too. I really do. That'd be amazing. That'd be like dwarvish resound at 42, kicking in
13.
and no.
13.
You begin fighting. The touch is graceful. It's soft. It's gentle as he caresses you. You can feel like the surge through your body. You're fighting as best you can, trying to bring your weapons up, stumble back, and then
It's a gentle caress, and then a sharp burn, and then
the burn,
numb.
and you realize you can't feel your legs, and it's not like you're trying to stand, but there's no control, and you just lay down on the ground. You let go of your weapons. You can see everything happening at this point in time.
Awesome.
All right. That was his action. The other ghoul's trapped, so that's 7. Move past that. Kodrog, your action. Unfortunately, you're paralyzed. Paralysis lasts for a set period of time based upon your toughness. So, luckily, with that dwarven constitution, you might come around soon.
Okay.
Rather than later.
Yeah, so for the rest of my turn, I try to recall the words to Hello Darkness, my old friend. Silently. In my paralysis.
All right. Narish's turn. I'm pretty sure he's by now flipped around to pay attention to what's going on, seeing that there's a ghoul that's trapped in the stone, and seeing the one going after you. I think his attention is going to be after the one that just reached out and gently caressed you.
Yeah.
So, considering that the ghoul has his back, Narish will then attack from the rear, gaining a bonus to do so. Oh, that's terrible. 15. So, Narish, you get to see this. So the ghoul grabs and caresses you, and as he does so, he steps just to be more over you. Narish lunges in with his 2 axe coming low. The ghoul just rolls back to get out of the way of both the swings as he chops toward the wall, and the ghoul reaches back, and you see that the ghoul's standing up tall enough now that he's going to do the same thing to Narish. Well, bad news, Narish, he doesn't have to just reach for the face. Narish is not wearing any armor.
He is.
He's just gonna reach out and like touch his big burly
Yeah,
chest.
he's just gonna touch his bro chest.
His bro chest.
No, he's wearing clothes.
He's wearing clothes.
He can't touch his chest if he's wearing clothes.
It's freezing up in this
We talked
mountain. I
about
feel
this
like he would have
before
worn
the game
clothes.
even started, baby.
I like the word bro chest though. It sounds kind of
See
weird.
how I picture Narish is like he has a shoulder piece and then a harness that basically goes around his pec into the back, and then a big like belt strap that goes around his abdomen section,
and a loincloth.
which like also has like harnesses and belts that go around, so he can put on his axes on his hips, so he could just whip them out and stuff. That's how I see him as shirtless all the time in my head. I'm not the only one.
Cool. Well, I mean, he's definitely bundled up because of the cold weather.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's the ghoul.
So he's got a scarf on.
Narish went, and so we are at Arya. Arya realizing the situation, she's going to throw another rock.
No, she's gonna see if she can get Kodrog out of the way.
Good idea.
Yeah.
So she's going to move with one action to get over there, and her other action is to grab him by the arm, not picking up your weapons or anything, but then roll with you away from the creature, making an acrobatics check to make sure not to get hit in the whole process. If she horribly fails, it's going to be a miserable... No, she doesn't. So, yeah, you get to see her run forward. She picks up part of you. You can't feel her touching you. You can see parts of you
And then
moving.
you see the
motion.
world just like kind of flip around a couple times, and then you're facing a wall.
You do hear the horrible sound of you slamming into the ground, but you don't feel it.
I hear the crunching of my teeth.
All right.
Well, at least she put you on your side, so you won't hopefully choke on your own tongue.
Good.
All right, let's do initiative for another round.
Keep dropping all my fucking dice. Ooh. I got a 9 this time.
Jesus, she's going fast.
Two of Thomas's companions just went down. Do you blame them?
You got a 9.
Yeah,
So,
9.
Drog, you don't got initiative.
Oh, but I actually rolled well this time.
What'd you get?
11.
11. I'll put it down.
Ooh. You can
Aria.
wiggle around more.
Arya got a 15. That means she's got 4 actions.
Yeah. So okay. Man.
I think she wants to take an opportunity to get in low and sweep the creature. Sweep
Yeah.
the creature off its feet. That's all she's going to focus in on. And she's going to do so from a defensive point. So that takes one of her actions.
Yep.
She's moving in, that's 2. And her third action is to sweep low. And then her fourth action is to get the hell back out of the way. So everything's going in to sweep this creature.
Yep.
All right, go ahead, let's roll. Acrobat. No, it's her melee.
Oh
A
shit.
7 out of 8. She makes it. She's being defensive. That's why it's an 8 at this point in time. She gets in and she sweeps the creature. Now the creature can attempt to use one of its actions to get out of the way, and I think it's going to want to because she like moves in super quick. 10. No, it fails. Its dodge is a 8. Dodge is not one of its better stats. So she sweeps it. It goes to the ground, and then Arya rolls back out of the way. John, you get to see this whole thing. It's like she goes and gets smaller, knocks it down, gets big again. Thomas,
Yes.
you see
I
this-
would like-
She might roll into the room if they're next to the door to just kind of like get out of its line of sight. Perhaps I don't know.
Yes, that actually sounds like a good idea. Getting out of line of sight sounds like a great idea for her. But she'll do so stealthily, like get in the way and she'll hide in the shadows. Hopefully the things can't see in the shadows. So, Thomas, you see the one that's pinned is now grabbed a hold of the boulders and he's trying to like heft them and then at the same time keep an eye on what's going on. Arya
Yeah.
has sped over there and in her acrobatic self, the one in front of Naresh has fallen to the ground and then she's disappeared completely. So he might have that one handled and Kodrog's out of the way. So you might be able to take care of this one that's in front of you that your blood sabers just shot at.
Oh, okay.
I mean, right now, it is not near anyone else.
True. I guess I'll... Yeah, I guess I'll cast ice shards, which I don't have the damage written down for that. But we've done it before.
Yes, I do believe it was 76. It was
That's a lot.
the lightning bolt was 76.
Yeah.
I was gonna
The
say...
The ice shards were meant to pin targets, and so it's probably going to be about 5d6.
Jesus. Have I been lowballing these spells then?
No.
Okay.
Spells do damage that are high if they have like a minor effect. Like the stone one trapped him. He had no course of action against it. That's why it only did 2d6. Because he's pinned now.
The scimitars only did like 2d6, I think. Anyway, ice shards. Small razor sharp shards of glass form from the natural moisture in the air.
Mm-hmm.
These shards can be controlled by the caster and can be used in multiple ways.
Also, the scimitars can target 2 separate targets and do damage to 2 targets.
Yeah. Ooh.
Are they
Ow.
still there
Okay.
and active?
Yeah, they're still there and active. We'll deal with that in a minute.
I got 9 out of 13.
All right, successful. The damage will not increase, though.
That's fine. You said 5?
5d6.
Great.
It has 1 resistance versus piercing, which is the ice, so...
6, 5, 1, and then 6,
So 3
5.
and 4 in total. Knocks off 1, rolls against 3. It knocks off 1.
So 2.
Definitely pierces it. In fact, we're going to increase it by 1 because it can't actually move anywhere. So we're going to make it... There we go. Because it can't go anywhere. It's like it should take more damage because it can't move.
I should have said this before, but my brain's like fucking running on sludge. Can I shoot it in the face?
With...
My ice shard.
No, Ice Shard does not. It's more like a spray effect. You can
Oh,
attack
okay.
it. You can attack with the scimitars again for the head.
Well, I'd have to roll for that, and that I already said that. I already rolled for the shards.
No, the
scimitars are still there.
Still active.
Oh,
summoned-
yeah, I'll do those. I'll fucking, yeah.
All right, roll the hit.
But okay. Ooh.
It's based off your Arcana.
Ooh. 5. 5 out of 13.
5 out of 13. Their dice will increase by 1 each.
Let's see, where did I put the scimitars in chat? Just so
It
I
was
can know.
3d6 for each one.
Okay.
Remember,
5.
4, 5, and 6 are the damage numbers.
6. Alright, so 2 on one of them.
Okay.
And 1 on the other.
Okay, the 1 on the other, we're just gonna see if he can ignore that. He does, and the 2, he ignores one of those. So the blood scimitars are now cutting into him. The creature does not bleed even after taking as much damage as it has. There seems to be no blood coming from this thing, and it doesn't seem to fatigue or go down.
Have I
Alright.
decapitated him yet?
You've definitely sliced up his throat quite a bit.
Great.
The first attack can be aimed, but after this, the sabers are just kind of like floating there, stabbing.
Chopping.
Chopping. All right. After Thomas, it is Narish's turn. 2 axes to the creature. And that's what he's going to do. He's just 2-fisting on top of it. That is a 7. And he is a 12, so that's by 1. His damage will be increased by 1, so it goes from 5d6s to 6d6s.
For each one.
For each one.
2, 3.
3, that's correct.
5.
5. 5 points of damage, and he gets to knock off 1 and roll against... He gets none, so 4 total. It's a hefty blow, and the creature gets... would have winded a normal person, but this, as it picks the
But
creature...
it's also, the creature's also on the ground.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
Roll 2 more dice then. No extra damage. That's fine. Alright, actually I'll increase the damage because it is vulnerable at this point.
Okay.
So yeah, he chops into it, and the creature is not going to take this lying down. Actually, he just did. As Narish chops in, he's now putting his next action is to apply as much force to the creature to keep it on the ground as possible. He's trying to keep it pinned.
So what is he like, putting his feet on both of its arms?
Yeah, pretty much. He's got his axes into its torso, he's put his feet onto it, and he's trying to control the creature at this point in time. He's wearing boots, so we're not really worried about this. Because he's thinking, man, I just watched Kodra go down like a wet drunk. I don't think I want this thing kindly caressing my body in any way, shape, or form.
I'm
So-
a noodle man.
So he's trying to keep it down as much as possible, pin it, so that somebody could maybe take a killing blow to it. And so that's his next action. So the creature wants to try to break free of this, so it's going to use its athletic skill to break free. Narish is a very, very large man. This is going to be hard. Athletics is not its primary, so we're going to say it's got a 6 or less. And it got a 10. It's struggling. It keeps struggling. It's got a 10 again. Narish has successfully got the creature on the ground. It doesn't seem to be going anywhere. Narish will call out, "Someone take off its head!" You know, at this point in time. Looks over at Kodra and goes, "Oh, never mind." All right. The other ghoul who's been stabbed and being attacked by these scimitars at this point in time, again, his athletics is an 8. He's being attacked. He's badly injured at this point in time. He is suffering a small bit of penalty. He's going to make a massive amount of effort to try to break himself free. He gets a 6.
Oh shit.
Oh shit. So he grabs the rubble at this point in time and he pulls it enough that he, like, you can hear like audible crunch sound or pop noise as he whips his foot out. And then his next action is to hobble leap toward Thomas and make a leap attack. I'm going to give him penalties on his attack.
Yeah, because he's like, I imagine he takes one step forward and his foot kind of
crumbles underneath him. So,
So,
he's normally a 10, so I'm going to make him an 8.
yeah.
And that is a 11. He leaps toward Thomas, but fumbles and slams himself into the ground at your feet.
Have you seen that gif of that little ghost running, and then he steps on a sheet, and then he falls flat, and he gets back up and keeps running? That's what I imagined that to be.
Okay, initiative. Unless Arya wants to do something else. No, she's already finished.
She's on all four. Yeah.
Kodrog is paralyzed. He's used all his. Thomas. Okay, we're good. Oh, that's terrible for them.
I got a 6.
I got an 8.
No, it's
Sorry.
9. It's like, yeah, it's fine.
You're
And
doing
you
great,
got a
Kodrog.
7.
Keep it up.
What'd you get, Thomas?
An 8.
All right. Kodrog actually got the highest initiative this time.
On a 6?
Oh, I thought you said 10.
No.
I was gonna say I have an 8 and he had a 6. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
so the highest initiative is Arya.
Okay.
And hearing the cry for...
Like somebody, like, kill this thing.
She knows she can't cut its head off.
So I'm pretty sure there's gonna be like some sort of rubble or
Yeah.
beat stick that
Yeah.
one of these other lowly, unfortunate adventurers had, and so I think she would like grab that up and do a like headshot.
She's going to pick up a boulder. That's like a 30-pound boulder, and she's going to pick it up and drop it on his head.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
She might be surprisingly strong. Let her
No, I
give her the
can
benefit of the
believe
doubt.
she can pick up a 30-pound boulder.
Yeah.
And so, because squat day.
Yeah, it's like one of the it's like,
Squat
you know,
day.
it's just like a kettlebell.
Exactly.
You know, you just like you swing it up and then you swing it right back down.
All right.
Yeah. She's gonna Gulager him.
That's a wrestling move for her, which she can substitute her acrobatics for.
Okay.
And she has an acrobatics of 15. So I'm pretty sure. Yeah, she got a 9. No,
6.
she got a 6. She got a 6. So that means she beat it by 9. That's. All right, so.
She did like a whole somersault thing
With the boulder.
Like get some extra momentum.
Wow.
I'm going to say the boulder is going to do 6d6, and because of her roll, it's going to jump up to 8d6.
Murder it. Murder it.
1, 2. 3, 4. Alright, because it's prone, it automatically goes up by another 1, so it's 4. It's bludgeoning. It can't block that with its armor, but it can try to roll its body. It got 2, so 8, and there's a boulder sitting on its head.
Great.
And her extra action is to like push on the boulder repetitively. The creature's undead resilience is keeping it alive at this point in time, but she uses the next 3 actions to go and slowly crush its head over the rest of this round.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's
Just like jumping on it.
jumping on it, stepping on it, slamming on it, while Nerys is holding these 2 axes and one of his large feet to pin its body and watching the entire event. All right. Next is Thomas.
Thomas, you got one
Right.
at your feet right now.
Yeah, Thomas doesn't want to be touched by this thing, and he's a little freaked out.
It's not going to take much for it to reach you. If you don't resolve the issue soon, it's just going to kind of shamble up and touch you.
It doesn't take much.
Lightning bolt.
Well, I mean, I'm still
'Cause,
gonna cast
he's
a
probably
spell.
got bare ankles, and it'll just reach up your robes.
Oh, giggity! All right. I'm gonna cast a spell just because Thomas doesn't want to be touched by this thing, and I can't think of anything else to do right now without looking through my spell sheet, and this is the one thing that I had on my mind. All right, winding cactus. From the ground, 2 cacti grow and wrap around their foe, causing them to unable to move and cause 1d6 points of damage. Over time, if this spell is given more mana, it can crush its opponent and objects it holds.
Right, okay.
He does, by the way, Radio. He does have a sword.
But who's going to get that close?
Even
In magic
the
mode.
thing is, here's the thing. Even if I were to, say, cut off this guy's head, there's still a chance I miss because my melee skill or whatever I use for my sword is lower than my spell. So he can, and even though the thing is like not moving and it's on the ground and you can clearly aim and shit, because of how the game works, he could miss. So
All right. The ground bursts from underneath it. The plump cacti encase the undead creature, and that's pretty
2
much
cacti.
it. Yes,
Well,
yes.
I mean, I do 1d6 points of damage.
It's piercing, and he can block at least one. So I mean,
Well, all right, fuck me then.
we'll encase him. We'll encase him. And then you want
At
your,
this,
while it's
at this
encased,
point-
do you want your blood swords to stab it a few more times?
yes,
All right.
please. I would love to.
All right, just go ahead and
That's
roll
just-
the damage. Don't roll anything else. They're automatically each going to do 1 extra point of damage.
6. 2 on one of them.
So 3.
6. 4 and 1. So I needed a 5 and a 6 for them, not 4 and 5 and 6.
4, 5, and 6. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so 2 on the other one as well.
Okay, so
3 and 3.
the swords will pretty much stab the thing as it's no longer moving, and
Yeah.
the creature seems to fight less at this point in time. You think it might have passed on from this unlife that it has, but you don't know if you should check for a pulse or whatever.
No, I'm just gonna let my scimitars keep poking it, and
Okay. All right, we're gonna get
But
out
at
of
this
combat
point-
rounds at this point.
yeah, I was gonna say at this point, Thomas, since we're out of combat, Thomas wobbles a bit and kind of catches himself as he moves towards Kodrog and kind of gently picks him up and puts his head on his lap and basically tries to assess the situation and how to help him. And yeah, he's basically just looking down and he goes, "All right, well, you're alive. You're, I think."
Arya continues her efforts to stomp the thing's head in underneath a boulder.
Yeah, until it finally stops moving.
Do I have anything?
Narish will start chopping at the neck and separate the head from the body. He
a
takes
good
no
idea.
time, and as soon as that's done, he moves over to your cactus filled, the one that got its head bashed in, and begins
Yeah.
chopping its head off too.
Man, if anybody comes in here and they're just like, "There's a weird cactus thing here," I don't think I have. I have stuff that can heal damage.
Yes.
Did you take damage?
No, he took no damage.
I don't have anything for
Yeah, you're not a
restoring-
cleric or a druid. Your druidic
No.
magic does not. You don't have anything for an ailments and enfeeblements.
Well,
But-
even then, like most druidic magic, at least from what I've written down so far, it takes like materials to do.
Yeah.
For example,
Where
like
a cleric is just like pull out the thing. So at
Yeah.
this point in time, you're realizing you have nothing to help Kodrog other than waiting.
yeah.
Well, and in that case, we are going to take a 10-minute break while
Yes.
you
No.
guys
That's a
wait
good
for
idea.
Kodrog to come around.
And in 10 minutes, let's hopefully the paralysis is worn off.
Alright.
I still paralyzed?
Are you still paralyzed? It's been 10 minutes. Welcome back, everyone.
Hey, everybody. We got a refill.
Excellent.
Huzzah!
I got tea, because I'm a healthy boy.
I
And I got feeling back in my legs.
I would drink my tea, but it's really hot. You guys all took a drink, and I was like, I'm not gonna.
I
My
don't think
tea's
it was
like
planned.
scolding. I'm not going to burn myself for a joke.
All right. I just like to drink. All right.
There's no other better reason to burn yourself than for a joke.
You're currently in a L-shaped hallway. There's a doorway that Arya dashed into. All the creatures have been dispatched, and Kodrog, you're coming back too. You've been semi-conscious for a minute or two. The paralyzation lasts for about a minute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's
As
just
soon
long
as-
enough for them to rip arms off people.
And it's just long enough to tear their victims apart.
So
As,
go ahead.
as soon as I have enough feeling left in my mouth to make words, I'm gonna start hoarsely whispering, "Search the bodies. Search the bodies."
Of the things that attacked, I don't think they have pockets, Kodra.
No. The live ones.
Oh,
For
yeah,
identifying things.
Right. We'll do that later. Let's get you up and moving around.
And Arya
Oh.
will spring up and she's like, "That's a great idea."
So there's 3 bodies or 4 bodies.
I think it was 4 bodies.
4 bodies. A Keshan, a human, and 2 failings.
Yeah. One failing is kind of.
Tore to pieces.
Yeah.
They have very large packs and sacks nearby.
Which Arya wastes no time in unceremoniously dumping them out. Just.
Yep.
All
One
right.
bag, the first one she grabs, she begins dumping it out and pours out a lot of concrete with golden bits on it. This is a very large bag of just statue fleckings, or whatever you want to call them.
Statue flakes.
Statue flakes.
The skin of the statue.
Skin
Yeah.
flesh. I mean, gold flesh.
I mean, technically it's money, but she just pours it onto the ground.
Worthless.
She says
Wait, does
out
she?
loud.
I was gonna say, does she like pour it out onto the ground and then like huff and then like find a piece of bread and she's like, yes, and then eats it? Because if so, she's my spirit animal.
Well, no, she pours out the pile of stone and gold and goes, worthless, and moves on to something else.
Yeah. So she proceeds on dumping out bags, while Kodrog, you know, and hopefully anybody who has ever gone to the dentist, you remember when, like, if you had to get, Novocained up and stuff, and that numb feeling as your mouth starts to like return to being usable.
Yeah, that
But you
taste that
still
comes on your
can't.
tongue.
But you still can't quite feel everything, even though you can use it. That's your body right now.
You can eat the soup, but it's gonna dribble out of the corner of your mouth.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
was me.
It was me a couple weeks ago, so.
What would you two like to do? Because we can tell Narish and Arya all sorts of stuff, but they're just going to start
Yeah,
rummaging.
they're rummaging while you two are getting yourselves situated. They have probably thrown off. They have 2 piles: the worthless pile and the pile that might not be worthless.
I'll like move my hand just a little bit against Thomas's shirt sleeve
Yeah.
and look up. Thomas, Thomas,
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
are you hurt? Are you hurt, friend?
I'm fine. It's nothing major. Do you want me to help you stand? You're moving around. I mean, that's a good sign.
I don't trust my legs.
Okay.
Just
I'm
hold
not
me.
gonna carry you because I feel like that would be.
Just hold me.
Do you want? Okay. He just kind of like he pulls him close and he just cradles him a little bit. And then he'll perk up and he'll look at the other 2 and go, "What'd you find?"
Narish stands up. At this point in time, he has a collection. He's like, I have found coins and gemstones, some weapons, and in the useless pile, there's the gold flakes, clothes, laundry, a mug, and he starts rattling off rations.
Mug just says I heart Mondays.
Actually, no. The mug has dwarven runes on it. You can see them from here.
Oh, can't I read those?
Yes.
What does it say?
Speak ale, and I shall fill.
Oh, okay, cool.
Wait, why would that be
Wait,
worthless?
like in Dwarven?
Yes, it says that in dwarven.
Can
One
I
man's trash.
speak in Dwarven and say
Of course,
ale?
Everybody
I'm
speaks.
curious.
Everybody speaks dwarven.
Dwarven is the common,
common
universal
tongue.
language.
I'm curious if it's. Can I wait before I, treat myself like an idiot and show myself up like a fool? Is it magical?
All right, you
'Cause
stop for a moment while you're stroking Kodrog's beard, and you stare at it, peering deep into the magical ways. Yes.
Oh, so I'm gonna speak ale in Dwarven.
Nothing happens.
Oh. Well.
You can see from here that the spell requires contact. But Kodrog,
Oh.
you're
okay.
woken by the sound of honey, or at least the word of honey. No, wait, ale. Someone said ale.
And
you
saw
saw
Yes. Yes.
Jesus.
Some ale. Ale would be great.
Narish, toss me that cup.
What?
Toss me the mug, the tankard.
He kind of looks around for a moment.
the mug on the worthless pile, dear.
He picks it up and throws it at you. It clinks
Yes.
across the ground.
On my lips.
Made of metal and wood and leather on the inside. It rolls, and lands at your feet. In the most peculiar magical way, it lands upright.
Ooh. Thomas will kind of pick it up and look over it. And as he's touching it, he'll say ale again in Dwarven.
All right. The magic has been fortified. This thing could actually slam into someone's face and survive. Like, whoever built this meant it be a ballroom brawler. As you begin opening and looking through all the magical information that's contained inside of it, this acts as a +2 mace when you smash it into somebody.
That's fucking awesome.
When you speak the word ale, it fills to the brim with frothy, warm ale.
Thomas is admiring this on a magical level. Paige is admiring this from the inner fighter in her. Thomas will hand Kodrog the ale and help him sip it because,
It reminds you of home, Kodrog. It's delicious. It's warm. It hits all those right flavors across your tongue.
So good.
Oh.
I want that
spluttered
mug.
my
You
finger
spill
as I
it
tried to
down
drink
your
this.
beard,
Yeah,
kid.
dripping down my beard. Got a foam mustache. Yes.
Thomas will pull out like a napkin and flutter it to unfold it.
The
hand it
healing
to
properties of
Kodrog.
Dwarven Draft.
You're probably feeling pretty good right about now. The sensation has returned to your legs.
Thomas, have some. You'll
Oh,
feel
okay.
restored. My strength is returning already.
Thomas will take a sip of it.
All right.
I think that's what he means by warm radio, because, over here, all beer is supposed to be cold.
Yeah.
You're correct.
Oh.
I apologize. It is room temperature. It is whatever the
Yeah.
room is valued at in
In
temperature. because-
Florida, room temperature is hot.
Yeah. I
Come
get
to
it.
Michigan. Our state is fucking beer central. That's our thing.
Yep. So, Thomas, this is definitely
Yes.
Dwarven ale. You know the difference between other ales and Dwarven ale. You've had your Kodrog. You would recognize it after getting up, but you're like, wow, this is strong. Thomas, you're like, whoa.
Yeah, I think Thomas takes a sip of it and he makes his face and goes, yeah, it's great. And then he hands it back to Kodrog. Clearly not his thing.
All right.
I'm gonna push myself up off the ground and scoot over to a wall so I can support myself and finish this mug of ale.
Sure. As he tips it back, you see on the bottom are written other varieties such as mead, beer, wine, scotch, whiskey are written also on the bottom of the
my
mug. You
God,
realize that
this
these are
mug is
instructions
great.
or what else that it can fill up with. And water and milk are on there as well.
Oh, nice. This mug is fucking awesome.
All right. Well, it's also embolized with a big fat letter R on it in Dwarven.
It's restricted.
Maybe. All right. So you guys get a chance to recuperate. Narish and Arya will sort through the bodies. They get a total of 30 silver pieces collected from the corpses, as well as a variety of small fineries. But nothing really to write home about, and Narish has collected all the short swords, daggers, and whatnot that these bandits had accumulated and things. He's ditching behind things like small statues and stuff like that just seems pointless to carry.
Can always get it on the way back.
Always get it on the way back. Right now, coins are lighter. Coins are easier to carry. The weapons are important. One of them we're using.
With the coinage, I'm gonna make sure that they get they keep their burial cost with them.
Okay, Narish will definitely toss back a silver to each of them.
Yeah, extra coinage we can take.
You said we get plus 30 silver each?
No, it's 30 silver in total. Do you want?
Oh, okay.
Are you saying that Narish is going to ask? Are we talking about taking these bodies out of here? When we leave?
No offense, Godrog,
okay.
But
sure, he's fine with that.
No offense, Godrog, but Thomas kind of like gestures to the torn up Failing. I'm not carrying that.
We can put him in this sack.
And if we're the ones that give them the burial, we've earned the cost.
He gives a nod. At this
minimum,
point in time,
we can bury them outside.
He will pull out copper bits and put them on their eyes or in their hands. As Failings, you put the money in the hands, but most races you just cover their eyes. So you guys are able to move on. Next to you, there's a door that looks like it goes into a room filled with dining room-like furniture. You can go back to the intersection you were just in at and continue exploring from there.
Do we hear any screams still?
No.
Nope.
The guy who was hiding in the dining room when all the fighting took place ran away.
Oh, there was somebody.
Oh, like exited?
Okay.
Yeah, he's gone. Peace out.
Okay.
While you guys weren't watching, he snuck behind you. Stealth roll successful. Bye-bye. Peace out. Take my treasure and get the fuck out of here.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, while you were laying down, John, you saw feet go past you, you know. You didn't recognize those boots. They didn't have placards on them.
Okay. Through the dining room, how many exiting options do we have?
All right, looking into the dining room, it has a total of at least 4 exits. The dining room serves a main dining hall for this complex, guest banquets. Adequately decorated, but in a frugal sense. Wooden furniture, nicely carved wooden mantle surrounds the room, about 7 foot high. Number of tables and chairs. There is, I can describe it, there is an exit on every cardinal direction, north, south, east, and west. We'll say that you're coming in through the southern door. The tables still have food on them, and the food has grown into a beautiful collection of green and blue-colored funguses and molds. The seats are rotten, the leather interior has destroyed, and everything is pretty much just old.
So great.
It's old.
Nice.
Everything in here is old.
So
I don't think that this guy is going to be here.
no,
Thomas just kind of mutters.
Is the dining room square or rectangle?
Rectangle.
And are we coming in, like, looking down the length of it, or the short?
width.
Okay.
The width of it.
Okay.
Yeah, and you see that there's a door on each other wall as well.
Yep.
All right.
And from where you're at, it's not very bright because your only light is Thomas's light, and so you're only getting shadows cast from here and there. You can go basically east, north, or west.
Yeah. We should look for a sign on which route we should take, which door.
A sign. What would that sign look like?
I don't know, like recent footprints going one way or another.
Okay.
Like signs of travel, or maybe like a light source or something down a hallway.
Awareness roll. All right, that's great descriptions. I like it.
Oh yay! My dice are rolling well again.
You didn't get 11.
No, I got a 7 out of 14.
Cool.
All right.
So, in the dining room, you don't see any kind of like footprints or tracking things that may have been there. Are covered with piles of worthless items and blood and footprints and the evidence of a fight taking place. So when you walk back out the way that you came and you go back to the main intersection with the main hall, you do see that the carpet, because it's all carpeted, is very worn going down the center, and you see that there are just a little bit forward, you see that there is 2 doors on the right hand side, and and they both look like they have been well used as well.
One of the important things you yourself would know is that the traffic that you see in this carpet is similar to the traffic of a lot of people traveling, like a unit of men it looks like someone poorly placed this carpet here because a lot of people travel down it.
Yeah.
You don't put carpet where a lot of people walk. You put carpet for the purpose of royalty and stuff. Anyways.
Somebody really just liked carpet.
They liked carpet.
They
I
like
mean, it's
marching on
stone
carpet.
floor. I would like carpet too.
Okay, so that's kind of like the best sign of travel is this trail that looks like a bunch of people stomped down on it a long time ago, over time.
Yeah.
Okay. That leads down a hallway with 2 doors in it.
A long hallway with
It's
2
a
doors in it.
very
That's
long-
all you can see right
yeah.
now because of your light
Oh,
source
okay.
with Thomas. We're assuming Thomas is wandering around with you
Yeah,
and that you
because-
aren't separated.
Yeah.
Because you
No,
see,
yeah,
you
he's
see
like,
the
yeah.
other doors on the left side, the one that leads into the dining room area, and then the door just beyond that, and then right in that same vicinity are the 2 other doors on the right. And then the hallway continues further down into darkness.
The good news is you can sneak here because there's carpet.
Yes.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Yeah. So the entire time we're searching these areas, do we hear anything other than us?
Stone, bits of sand falling and whatnot, the plops of water, droplets, and that's about it.
Yeah.
The sound of combat was really the only thing you could hear.
Yeah, so now that there's no more screams and clatters, everything's pretty quiet.
Yeah. As we're looking around, Thomas will just kind of quietly say, I don't think anyone is here, and if they are, they're clearly not in these areas. These areas haven't been touched in ages, it looks like. I mean, there's mold everywhere.
Narish goes, yes. Maybe they have long since abandoned this fortress and... Yes.
Arya, hush, I know you're scared.
Well, perhaps the well-traveled route is the one we should search first.
If anything, if they were companions, there might be a, well, obviously, because the lips are magical, there might be a magical area that we have to open or something.
Narish
I'll
goes,
keep
yes, magical areas. There's a good possibility of that. We should...
I'll keep
My
an eye out.
desire to look around this place is really strong. I mean, look at these things. And he holds up, like, a chalice that looks fancy. Some coins. He's like, there's at least some wealth to be brought here. And if anything, we can share it with the rest of the crew. And would they not be happy to have such a benefit of shares of treasure, even if we do not find this man that we're looking for?
I mean, it's one way to earn friends on the boat.
Yeah, and a good thought. But we have to stick to our main mission first.
Yes, find this man. All right, so how do you guys want to proceed?
Stealthily on the carpet to the first of the closest doors down that hallway.
Okay.
Moving up to the door, it is open. Signs beyond it, you can see wooden dummies.
Should we roll stealth, or does it matter?
Yeah, you can. I mean, I'm just considering you're already quiet. You're walking on carpet.
I should never ask if I should roll. 13 on 10, so...
I'm pretty sure you did better than that because you're on carpet.
You're okay.
You're fine.
Okay.
All right.
You're walking forward.
Looking in, you see dummies, targets, which you could fire into.
Mm-hmm.
You see a lot of room to move about for the purpose of maybe martial practice of some type.
Unstrung bows.
Yep. Stuff like that. Hay barrels, rotten hay, of course.
Yeah.
And this is just from the dim light that Thomas has. Thomas, of course, can move the light around the room. You guys would be in darkness, or he can cast another spell. But you can basically see what looked like an archery range / melee range. There's a jousting setup.
Okay. I think that I might check out that room and see if I can find a bow that's in good order and a quiver of arrows.
Sure.
Thomas will follow you with a light.
The room you step in, you will consider you're coming in from the west. There's a door to the south, and there's 2 doors to the east. Nothing is labeled in here. There are no markings. Wandering about, you do find a number of bows. They're all short bows. And do you have like an appraise roll that you got? You should. Appraise is a skill. You should be able to appraise. Make a roll. If you succeed, you find a good bow. If you fail, you find a bow.
Okay. I don't see appraise on my list of things. Mercantile.
Bingo!
I've got nothing.
Great roll.
7.
You found a bow. And you take a moment to string it, and it strings.
Excellent. Are there any arrows about?
Yes, there are arrows about.
Excellent. I will test my bow at one of the targets.
Sure, it fires, you hit the target, it survives. The
Excellent.
arrow survives as well. Even after a couple of whatever, maybe a year or 2 of sitting here, they haven't dry rotted or gone too bad. They were well maintained when you got them. They left them here for whatever reason.
Do they look used?
Yes.
Okay.
How old used?
You have to have an appraised skill on that, specifically toward manufacturing of bows and arrows. And
They're covered in dust and cobwebs.
no, there are cobwebs here,
okay.
but they're not covered. You know, there's not a lot of space.
No, I was just mainly thinking, like, do they have, like, scratch marks on them from a blade or whatever, but, yeah, Thomas will just kind of, he'll wait for Kodrog, but he'll move on to the next room that has yet to be explored.
All right. You're
And
stealthing
I'll
as well.
look to...
Kodrog, you remember you're a dwarf, so you have infravision. You have like this low level of being able to see some heat. So you can wander in the dark and not bump into things. You don't have to stick with them. You can see up to about 10 feet in front of you in a vision of like cold and hot. If you really kind of like focus and like start squinting your eyes.
Okay.
But so you don't have to stick with them. So if you don't want, but if Thomas starts wandering off, you want to catch up, that's totally cool. I get that.
Yeah.
Thomas,
Well, before Narish and Arya wander off with Thomas, I'll suggest they collect bows if they have any experience with them.
Then they will do that. Arya definitely has experience with a bow. She's seen one before. Narish, of course, will...
And all you gotta do is just this.
Yep. Narish will pick up a bow and a fistful of arrows as well. Thomas, you want to do the description on the next round? Let's see. What was it, 21?
21.
There it is. You don't have to read it all. Just read whatever you want.
All right. So this long and narrow room looks like it served as some sort of auditorium or meeting room. There are benches all over the place. Some of them are, thrown over, and some of them are not. Let's see. Oh, on the north wall there are 4 decorative cloth banners of red, green, blue, and yellow. Although once attractive, they are now deteriorated and rotting. In the center of the room, you see 4 statues of Charlans. 6 statues of Charlans.
In the center of the room, like, there's tables and there's benches and whatnot, but these statues are, like, oddly placed.
Are they in a motion?
No, they're, like, standing with their arms beside them, and they're kind of like all, like garden gnomes with their hands beside them, right?
Yeah.
And they're standing pretty still, kind of like, and they're, like, looking in different directions.
I'm gonna magically check them before I do anything else in this room.
They have no magical presence about them. You begin
Great.
staring and...
Huh, well,
Okay, you begin staring and watching them.
I was waiting for her to say something. not
Oh, okay.
For you to say something.
I'll let her talk.
Anyway.
But basically, Thomas, he checks them out magically, and then he'll step in a bit, but he'll look in the direction of where they're looking, because they're all looking in different directions.
They are all looking in different directions. As soon as you step into the room, the uncarpeted room gives a little clack tap of your boot, and one of them moves ever so slightly. You see the eye move and the head move, and then move back, and then you hear like a small thud on the side of another one, and then they stop moving again.
And you see like a little curl of dust from like between two of them. You notice these look like Charlin's covered in dust and ash and whatnot. Kind of like shitty camouflage.
Remind me what Charlins are.
Basically a small, squat humanoid with a lot of fucking teeth and a low IQ. They are smart
like
enough.
A stranger, like a strange nose crest that makes them look what we would think shark-like.
I'm going to, even though it's gonna hurt because I'm running out of mana. Oh god, what is it called? It's like manipulate ground or something. Is there anything in this room that, from what I can, you know what? I don't really care. God, where is it? I know we have it because we were talking about it, and we got into a rant about permanent things in games. Mm-hmm. Thomas is gonna act like he didn't notice them, and start to step back outside, not turning around, turning his back on them. And then once he's outside the door, he looks them straight in the eye and mutters something, and then a stone wall forms and closes off the doorway.
Not today.
Not today.
Yeah, we should do like a generalized save versus fear for that shit.
Yeah.
We're little bastards.
They just didn't want to get caught.
I think they're fine. I think
they're
they're fine.
They're like...
They're not humans, right? They're not like Keshans or anything like that.
No.
They're
They're
creatures.
They are sentient creatures, but...
like less than a meter in height.
Like goblins.
They have scaly skin and sharp teeth and like a crested like head and whatnot, and eyes on the side of their heads.
I swear we fought them before.
You have.
You have.
Yeah.
When they generally follow an order from their leader and they do whatever they're told. And these guys were... Yep.
It's being very, very still.
All right.
Yeah, you just blocked them in.
Kodrog, Narish, and Arya have gathered bows and are starting to walk into the lit hallway when they hear... Narish draws his bow and arrow out like, what just happened? Master Thomas, are you okay?
No, I'm good. You just hear this like look at his hands.
Was there nothing interesting in that room?
Just Charlins. They were very stealthy. As he says sarcastically.
Oh well, all right.
The hallway continues, and so does the matted carpet. Across from where you're at right now, there's an entranceway in what looks to be a kitchen, where you can see countertops as well as pots and pans, and assortment of material. And like in the dining room, it looks as if it has become left untouched, and fuzzy green and blue mold has taken over. This is staring from the doorway as well. You have not stepped in. The door is open, so that's how you can see it.
Okay.
Would you like to explore the kitchen or continue walking the hallway with the carpet?
Yes.
I
Or
think
go back.
continue down the hallway.
All right.
I don't know. Can I like peer into the darkness of the kitchen before we pass by to see if there's anything interesting that catches my eye?
Of course. And Thomas has light, so you can see farther. Like I said, your infravision is short than your normal vision, so lights are good.
Well, that's 11 on a 14.
Pots, pans, kettles, a pile of wood and char. You see what looks to be remnants of a deer at some point in time is still being half prepped. So this people just left everything.
In a hurry.
Okay. Yep. Nothing to see here.
This
Keep
place
going.
is big, right? Like there was in that meeting room there were multiple tables, right?
Yes.
Is there what do we know of the story of these two gentlemen?
Uh,
Not a lot.
You only know from what you've been told. Roentag is from the Republic of Porthian, and he is a human warrior who left his people behind for whatever reason.
Yep.
You know nothing about this Zeligar, who is, of course, only rumored to be a wizard. And so far, that's all you've got going for you.
Nothing on the wizard though. Like even as a wizard growing up in Marseille, there wasn't
You had made
stories
a
about
roll
this guy.
about that last game session, and
Okay.
I do remember you were successful, and I told you he liked to blazon everything with the big letter Z. He seemed a little bit haughty, and people didn't talk highly of him. It's just some guy, He doesn't
Okay.
have a huge reputation.
And he's not from
It's just-
Marseille.
And he's not from Marseille. That was the other thing. So he wasn't
okay. That's a
important.
good point. Thomas is just gonna subtly mention as he looks in this kitchen and notices there have been giant meals prepped. Like there's a deer being prepped. He'll just kind of mention. He'll go. There were only 2 of them, right? Like this place is huge.
John, are
Like,
you going to
clearly-
mention about the carpet?
Oh, well, they may have been the only 2 named, but given the state of the carpet, there's definitely large numbers of people have been through here at one point in time. Perhaps they had some kind of a garrison that they had collected for themselves.
They did leave for a reason. Maybe they were trying to do a revolution of some sort. I mean, they even they have a practice room for maker's sake. I had to think of our gods in this world. I mean that meeting room had multiple tables and the kitchen's big. It's suspicious. It's weird.
Yeah. So far, it seems like a place to feed and train an army.
Exactly. Which is concerning because we can't find the 2 men.
Or an army?
Or an army.
Continuing down the hall, you get to an intersection. The hall with carpet continues on, or it can turn off to what be your west. The west direction has no carpet to it, so you cannot tell if it's well traveled like this area is, the way the carpet is at. The stone doesn't show any signs of wear and tear. You know how stones in monasteries and whatnot have that curve on them because people stepping on it all the time? You don't see any of that. But it does continue down quite a distance beyond the light source of Thomas's light and then split into a T-junction in the dimness. So, I mean, you can go explore that or you can stick to the path that you've chosen.
Does the carpet continue to look well worn?
Yes.
Okay. I'll take a good listen down the west side to see if there's any strange sound other than a water dripping or something like that, I don't know.
Water burbling.
Yeah, you do hear water.
Oh,
More water this time. More blub, 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 blub.
okay.
Like
So
almost a splashing.
it sounds like there's some kind of water source that direction.
In the T-junction area?
Yes.
Perhaps that's their bathing room. I mean, this place is huge.
It could be.
That sounds fine.
I think we should continue down the carpet path, though. It's definitely still well worn this way.
I'll follow you.
You come across 3 more doors, or you've total of 4 more doors, I should say, as you're following this path. The first one enters into a room that seems to be quarters of some type. They're decorative quarters. The beds seem nice, but there are no decorations. The bed is fine, the dresser looks of fine make. There are chairs in here and whatnot, but there's no indication of whose room this might have been, nor any personal items. The next room, again, a repeat of the one beforehand. Same, a guest bedroom of some type, no personal items. Third one, a guest bedroom with no personal items, nor any traps or anything of value, because Narish is looking like he walks up and opens a drawer, opens the next drawer. This one has a holy tome in the top drawer. And then the next room. This one also has a holy tome.
Do they have money inside? I heard that was a thing.
I will check. No money. No money, And so, but the fourth room you come across is similar to the 3 previous rooms, but it has decorations and whatnot, so the door's not locked. Let's get to that one quick.
Thomas is looking around magically, by the way, constantly, because that's just passive.
Of course, yeah. No, I understand that, and I will keep that in mind. The tour is rather pleasant, although uninspired. The floor is mostly striking aspect of the room, for it's a continuation of the colored mosaic pattern of golden brown, white, and black, which are evident in the adjacent room. Oh, it was not there. Golden brown, black, and white. There are minimal furnishings in the room. A common bed, 3 chairs, a makeshift desk, single drawer. So it's pretty much like the rooms beforehand, except for a framed picture hanging over the desk showing 2 figures standing side by side. A warrior of impressive proportions and a wizened old magic user in purple robes. At the bottom of the frame of the pictures are the letters R and Z. R, the little and sign, and Z.
Are they like just standing next to each other? Or
Yes,
are they like
it seems like.
Like some sort of majestic.
Like their shoulders are next to each other and they're slightly angled,
okay.
staring out at the individual, staring back at them. It's really well painted, and it takes a moment for your magical perception to realize it's been magically painted.
How can you magically paint something?
Prestidigitation. It leaves behind no brushstrokes.
Oh, okay, cool. Huh, weird. My artist's stomach is like, the brush strokes are so important to some paintings. Anyway,
You see that Thomas is cringing for some reason,
It's like
Kodrog,
it's
upon the
like-
look.
It's one of those photorealistic ones that shouldn't exist in the Shattered Isles, you know?
Oh, wow.
So it's like, the uncanny valley is high on this painting.
yeah.
In the corner.
It's basically like today's are pictures practically.
Yeah.
Can I roll something for these colors of these like the tapestries in the meeting room and like the colors in here? Are they like Portheon colors or are they?
No,
Hold
the
on, see, I'm
brown,
sorry.
the golden brown, white, and black aren't. You're not really sure what they represent on the floor, and those flags back there, you're not familiar with those particular flags in color that you saw hanging on the wall, although you realize that might just be like decorative flags that they chose to fly. Portheon is blue, like a sharp blue color.
Okay, and I know they left Portheon. Is there any other like any other thingy-majigger that place that has these colors?
More in the room, I guess?
No, not that. Not this would be very rare, like knowledge that they use. So this is their the green, the brown, all the colors back there. That's their colors, and they did not advertise what their colors were. That's just what they flew when they went off to go do their shit. And so
Yeah, I was just curious if like they were teaming up with some sort of people.
No.
Anyway, Thomas is going to take the picture.
when you
and,
pull it off, you notice that there's engravings near the bottom. Under the Z and R, it says, "To the wise," how we say that name? Marivek?
Marivek.
"To the wise Marivek, worthy advisor and counsel from the grateful Zeligar and Roagon."
Yeah. Does Marivek sound familiar? Can I roll history or something for it?
You can roll, but you like again.
I'm not gonna get anything.
Yeah, you're not gonna get anything. This guy was nobody a special. It's just a named individual that was their advisor, and they liked him so
Nice.
much they gave him a picture
of them.
Of themselves.
with their own names on it in bold letters.
Yeah,
And
Thomas
you notice
is just...
that the dwarven R on the front, which probably represents Roagon, is also on the mug that you're currently carrying around in a big old fat dwarven R.
Yes.
Oh.
Rogan was a human, right?
Yep.
Must really loved his ale.
It's clipped
Thomas-
to my belt now.
I'm glad you have it. That ale's fucking awesome. That mug's awesome. Thomas is going to kind of
Imagine
snicker a
drinking
bit.
contests with that mug.
Oof. Thomas is going to just go, "Pfft." And he'll go, wow, these guys were vain. And then as he's like looking over the picture frame, is it not breakable, but like, can I take the picture out of the frame?
Yes. The picture is painted on canvas, not canvas, but leather, and then it's been framed on top of a piece of wood. So you can definitely take it. And
I'm
it's
gonna take
dry, so it's not going to be damaged or anything.
I was just curious if there was anything hidden in the picture frame, but I'm gonna take the entire thing because.
All right, so you're
this
taking
is
the whole picture?
Yeah, this is
Okay.
history shit.
Oh, yeah, and it's a nice frame, too. The picture has survived, and so you probably can get some decent money for it.
Yeah.
Or maybe
If you
wanna
want to
go up.
if you want to leave it outside the door, we can collect it on the way out. Unless you want to carry it through the whole rest of the castle.
The picture
This-
itself is... hang on, I just saw that.
4 foot by 3 foot.
The picture is 15 by 22 inches. So you imagine the frame
Okay.
adds an extra 2 to 3 inches on the edge. So what? I don't know. That's like pretty fucking big. You could use
Yeah,
it as a
no.
shield.
I could. No, I
That'd be
thought it was like
pretty
a
shield.
desk picture.
No.
The way it was described. No, yeah, I think I'll do that. The code drug. I'll put it by the door or whatever. Even if we miss it, it's not a big deal. It
Aw,
could just be
like you
easy
said,
money.
it's history.
Exactly.
And look, they painted so finely. There's no brushstrokes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Narish goes, I sense that there is a problem with the painting, Thomas. He picks it up. You know one of them, don't you? And he stares at you.
No, I don't.
You
The
s-
problem I have with it is there's no brush strokes.
There's no need to pry into Thomas's relationships.
It's not my relationship.
Oh. His stomach is queasy at this moment. I can feel it.
I don't even. The wizard isn't even from Marseille.
Yes.
He puts it outside the door. I understand.
Yeah, okay.
And I'll lead down the hallway.
The hallway comes to an intersection going forward and also to your east. The carpet heads east and no longer forward at this point in time. And you can tell that the traffic has reduced drastically. So traffic seems to continue going forward before you.
Well, there's a door that's quite
door.
close in front of you.
And I think that
then
one's
the-
actually shut. Hang on.
It is shut, but it's a very ornate door.
It is
It's beautiful.
it's wooden, it's thick, heavy. Oh, and look what's on the door.
Yes. So there's a beautiful
Thick, heavy.
gilded R on the door that's in front of you.
Yeah, these guys are really vain. Thomas just says like out loud.
Perhaps we've found Roteg's room.
You're getting the impression, you guys both have an understanding now that you're following and the carpet turns, that the carpet in, like, any noble establishment leads to the throne room.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tossing that out because your characters would be in the environment, you would have this understanding, the carpet will lead to the throne room. So, the carpet's now turning, the throne room goes that direction, but you've come across a room that is basically labeled.
Oh yeah, we're going into the labeled room.
Alright. So you're gonna open the door and...
I'll check for traps first.
Wait, too late, you already said you're going in.
Yep.
No, I'm kidding. Go
I-
ahead, check.
Um,
More fun that way.
Narisha's probably better at checking for traps than I am, but I'll give it a shot. I don't even know what skill
Is
it
it
is.
magically activated?
No.
Okay.
So I'm gonna roll a dice. I don't know what I judge it.
You're doing awareness.
Oh, excellent. I'm super aware. 12 on a 14.
Looks like a door.
Yep, looks like
With
a
an
door.
R on it.
With
It's
a
a
door with a
door
big
with
old
a-
R on it.
Big old fat R.
Looks ready to open. Okay. Turn that knob.
All right.
Oh, we
Punch
need to.
my
That's right.
butt.
Okay, so that's not important.
Mhm.
All right.
I open it very slowly, waiting to hear the trap click.
Well, something does click, but it's not the trap. It's just the door making noise. Sure as hell scares the fuck out of you, though. Nerys makes an open comment. You're startled. And he readies himself. Looking into the room, you can see a collection of billiard tables? Is that a low bar to the far side of the room?
Are those kegs behind it?
Is that some sort of like sitting place to have, like, you know, where you lay down and somebody takes there's like a big mallet where you press onto somebody's back. Billiard tables, barroom stools, brawl and whatnot stretch along the northern wall. You can see kegs. You can see that there's playing cards on tables. You can see pool sticks on the wall. There's a dart thing on the wall where there are knives stuck into it. What is that thing called? A target?
A dartboard?
Dartboard with knives stuck into it. You see some sort, and it's large. There's an exit to the north as well as the west, and this seems to be like some sort of relaxing room where you get a chance to like play games and drink beer and stuff. And there are flagons laying around.
R for recreation.
You gotta let people know what the fuck's beyond the door, right? You should put an R on it for recreation. Or your name.
I don't know, man. Thomas is like... See, how I think of things is basically... This is where he takes the ladies and goes, look at my billiard tables. And then he goes into the seating room. Like... Thomas is judging this guy even before he knows it.
Got massage chairs.
So Arya has jumped behind the bar and is checking out the items. She pulls up 3 bottles with a nice dark liquid, an amber liquid, and a clear liquid, and puts them on the table. Oh, on the bar in front of her.
Nerys will grab the clear one and say, water. And he pops it open.
I think that's vodka.
He takes a swig. It's not water.
Maybe let's not randomly sample.
Yeah.
Fine, then
You don't wanna leave
I'll
them on.
sample this one. That's not random. That burns. So good.
That burns. Like,
So good. But we're not
And
here to drink. We are here to find Roagon
Okay.
guess if
and
they...
Zeligar.
Yep. Some of the decorations in the room that have gotten your attention. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We can still gather what supplies are good. The ale. And the knives. For when we
Set them
leave.
outside the door.
Yes.
Good idea.
Thomas will wander over to the other rooms. He'll look into the seating room before moving into one of the other rooms that have yet to be described. He has very little interest in vodka.
All right. Tom, amongst the rooms, you begin gathering things and gathering what you can to set outside. John, there are shields along the wall, and that'd be probably one of the first things you're able to reach. When you pull the shield off, the shields are decorated with swords, axes, and flails along with them. The first shield you kind of pry off is a bit older and battered shield, and as soon as you lift it from the wall, it jumps from the wall, from your hands, and onto your forearm.
Oh.
Automatically
Cool.
dons itself.
Oh my god, I want to be. Oh,
It
why
is a
am I
gnarly
wizard?
old shield too. It's seen its number of it's seen a number of attacks and damages along its edges and whatnot. It is a heater shield, which means it's shaped like a teardrop.
Yeah.
But it immediately jumps on your hand, and not in the sense that it physically moves. It's almost like it magically disappeared in front of your gaze and reappeared just by you touching it.
Oh no. I'm gonna like shake my arm like I'm trying to shake it off my.
Okay, it comes off, falls on the ground, clatters, and makes a shit ton of noise.
What happened to not doing random things again? Oh, it only applies to alcohol. I see.
Thomas
Well, I
will
didn't
look
know it
over
was
'cause
gonna
he's-
jump onto my arm.
Thomas is curious of Kodrak's just quick reaction to like fucking the flail of a shield.
It's not the first time.
He'll walk over and like gently pick it up after like the clanging stops echoing.
All
And he
right.
goes, well,
You
if
touch
anybody
it and pick it up and it leaps onto your arm.
yeah, Thomas is like, well, if anybody, Jesus, like his type of thing, like, and he starts kind of flailing a bit, but he won't take it off just yet. He'll admire the magic if there's actually magic in it.
There is magic in it, and you see that by touching it with 2 hands, it automatically attaches to someone. If you touch it with 1 hand, you can do whatever you want with it, such as flinging it off your arm. But if you
Oh.
grab a hold of it and try to pull it off while touching it with 2 hands, it won't ever come off.
Oh, this is a Captain America shield. Well, Thomas is, oh, God, I want to be
It
a
won't
fighter
return, so if you
badly.
throw it, it's not going to return, but if you touch
No,
it, it
but,
immediately pops
like-
on. But still, nonetheless.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, Thomas just, he explains the magic, and, he, kind of shakes it off his arm a bit, but doesn't allow it to, like, drop.
okay.
He'll grab it with one hand and, tell basically all the people that are in the room, pick it up with one hand, or if you pick it up with 2, it's going to attach itself to you.
So I'll point my finger around the room at all the other things. It's like, well, Thomas, how much of the rest of this is magic?
Thomas will gaze around the room.
The only other thing magical in this room is a battle axe. A 2-headed dwarven battle axe.
Yeah, Thomas points at it and he goes, that axe.
You take a moment to stare at it, or do you just want to just acknowledge it and move back over to what you were doing?
I'll look at it. What? How is it magical?
It is a grave speaker. You can bring it to the grave of an ancestral dwarf and allow it to ask them a question once a month.
That's fucking awesome. Thomas will describe it and I really admire that, but at the same time, he just kind of like grimaces because it is a hint of necromancy.
Yep.
So he'll explain it, but he'll get to a point where it sounds like he's not really enjoying this spell as much as the shield.
Well,
Uh,
it certainly does still sound exciting.
Yeah, I think that
It's cool. It's just
Narish would take it off the thing and like just kind of like toss it a little bit to feel like the weight of it and the balance of it in one hand. By the way,
yeah.
you like do like the. It's finely balanced. And then like shoves it in your face, Kodrog.
Oh. Yeah, I'll take it and I'll hold it, look it up and down, do a little like.
It probably weighs like 2 pounds in weight.
Oh man,
Wow, it's really light.
Yeah, it should probably weigh about 7 to 10, but it's like 2.
nice. Yeah. Well, Narish, can you make use of this now?
The axe.
Yeah.
Your hand.
And I'll toss it back.
He'll take it, of course.
Well-
Sticks it into his belt loop. Does pulls it back out, sticks it into his cloak, just pulls it back out. He spends a couple of moments fucking with it, trying to figure out how to carry the thing around. I'll hold it.
Of course, if it becomes too cumbersome, you can just leave it outside some door. We'll collect it on the way out.
Good idea. These people might still be around. They might want their things back. We don't want to be thieves. Right, Arya?
Yes, dear. Sure.
True,
She likes
if-
to continue.
Yes, dear, sure. She's like downing a bottle of wine.
Vinegar.
Oh, Cookie might like that.
Yeah. Is it rice vinegar or just vinegar?
All right, so there's a western door and a northern door. As you guys are looking around for usable material, Thomas, you wanted to look through them. Western door, northern door.
Never eat sour waffles. I'll go north.
All right, you see a hallway beyond the door.
Shut up. Don't
The
judge me,
door
John.
is open, and you see a hallway. Nothing spectacular about it.
And it's not carpeted either.
It's not carpeted, and you can see maybe about 60 feet down a door, like an indentation in the hallway for a door.
Thomas will just leave the door open and basically say, "There's a hallway down here," and then he'll move to the west.
All right, moving over to the western one. You go to open the door, and it's locked.
Huh. This is the first locked door that we've
It
come
is the
across.
first locked door.
Perhaps
I know.
most bandits don't make it past the first room, the dining room, where the ghouls dine on them.
You've noticed there's a lot less
True.
bodies in this area.
Oh, that is
Just-
something I was gonna ask. Like, how many? Because like we've been walking around and we've been mentioning how big this area is and everything like that. Are there any like skeletal remains that look like old?
There are no skeletal remains.
Oh, maybe the dudes ate them or used them. Thomas isn't one for physical labor. He'll step back and he'll mention that this door is locked and wait patiently and then go like look at Kodrak and then look at the door. Like, I've seen you work a door before. Like,
Is that, I think over here. Yeah.
I'll toss a crowbar from my pack over to Narish and see if he can crowbar it open. If he struggles, then I'll hammer it in with my.
His athletics is an 8, and I rolled an 8. The crowbar gives a 1, so yeah, he's able to pry the door open. Let's check what was the number on that one. 12. The
See,
door
I
is
delegated.
not. It's an ornate carved door. It's not it's fancy. It looks nice and everything, but there's no massive markings on it that says, "Hey, this belongs to somebody." Or
There's no initials on the door.
But it's a solid oaken door, and so getting it open, he has to damage the door to do so. The floor of the room is covered with dust. Unlike all the other rooms you've moved into, this room is dust covered and seems unused. But beneath is a beautiful and shiny surface of polished red granite. The stone is inlaid with large blocks and extend uniformly to within a foot of each of the walls. And in the very center of the room, with the floor surface, are blocks of white granite within the red stone. So it's a nice, beautiful pattern, but the whole room is dusty. I'm sorry. Let me finish. White and red stones, and they form the letters
yes.
of R and Z, with an ampersand between them in the floor.
R plus Z.
Bam, bam, bam. R and Z
Wow.
all the
R&Z.
time. Boop.
These
Yeah.
are like the two best
Thomas-
friends that anyone could have.
I was gonna say Thomas is looking at this and he goes, I don't think that they were just friends.
They may have been platonic life partners.
Yeah.
Platonic life partners. There are 3 large
Which is
oaken
romantic.
tables within the room.
Or more.
One on the west, north, and east wings of the room. There are several wooden chairs scattered about. In 2 corners of the room are plush divans, each covered with a rich fleece upholstering that makes it very comfortable for reclining. If they were in good use, as you can see, there's dusty, maybe a little bit age. These, however, are rather dusty and dingy due to their age and lack of use. Wall sconces designed to hold torches for illumination are mounted to the walls, eerie glowing light. This room is illuminated, is what it's saying. And there are bookshelves in the room. The library is rather modest, supplies of books, volumes, and tomes of various sizes. And likewise, only a few scrolls are being stored in the racks along the east wall. A total of 8d6 in books are located in this room. Remember,
Wow.
every 10 books represents a bonus to a knowledge check.
Yeah.
Look,
Um,
Mr. Thomas, a library.
Yeah,
An
I think
unused library.
after looking at this room magically to see how it's illuminated, which I'd like to know before I continue on.
Permanized light spells.
Some sort of like necromantic light. It's like some sort of pale light,
Like
and it's creating an area
the
of...
ghosts of lights past.
There you go.
Oh, cute.
Where most light spells are blinding and brilliant, these are actually really kind of dim.
Like mood lighting.
Like
Okay.
mood lighting. You know, because when R
Told ya,
or Z get in
They
here
aren't
and
friends.
they want to read a book
some books.
on their divan.
They want to read some books.
On their divan. By the way, for everybody's watching, this is not very modified, but the dungeon we're actually running is called In Search of the Unknown. It's an old module, and if you know of In Search of the Unknown, and you've never read it, this is actually what's in the book through our lens. We're not changing that
Too
much. We're really not. This is
Except
really
but
in
we're
there.
making it we're
I love it.
the descriptions that we're reading are the ones that were published.
RNZ.
R-
RNZ.
RNZ.
Best buds.
Forever.
Woo!
Best
We're gonna
buds.
go conquer the barbarians.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot some lightning bolts.
All right.
I'm gonna
well,
flex my
Thomas
muscles.
is going to
Look at my beard.
Look at my
is going-
chest.
God damn it, guys. Thomas is after he looks at the lighting and then like mutters what the actual spell is and everything like that. He'll just go, "Ooh, books," and he'll like walk over and start looking through the fucking bookcases.
Okay. There is 2 exits out of this room. East and north. You came through. Sorry, west and north. You came through the east. Kodrog, you have stripped this room as much as you possibly can. There's a decent collection of weapons you've now found. They're outside the room. The only ones that you're interested in, the dwarven battle axe, the shield that seems magical. There is also a round shield in here that seems to be made out of pretty strong steel with a razored edge along one side.
And Narish and Arya have moved out 3 kegs, not pony kegs, 3 full kegs of
Had
what
to
they
roll 'em.
assume to be ale, and then
Which Nerys pointed out that if they are vinegar, our food's going to be tasty.
and 10 bottles of varying colors of food. Actually, most of them are what do you call those things? The clay, the opaque ones. I don't know what you call them. They're not glass.
They're
That's
not
what I'm
glass.
saying. There's like 6 of them that are like like jugs. They're like jugs.
Yeah.
And then 4 what you or at least what Arya thinks are crystal decanters.
Mm-hmm. And you have
Something.
found knives and axes and swords in this room. There's a decent collection, and I would describe it as enough swords and shields to equip about 12 warriors.
Wow.
How are we gonna carry this all back, guys?
Oh, we won't carry them back. We will tell the ship what we found, and then we will bring other people to carry them back for us.
Nerys gives a nod. Unless we
Ponies.
find the people who live here.
Right, and then we will probably.
We'll negotiate terms.
Also apologize for breaking down their door. As Thomas points to the door that was crowbarred, as he's like pulling down a book and opening it.
And potentially negotiate payment on clearing out the ghoul.
Yeah, that's
Nerys
you.
nods. We can also say that we're here on a rescue mission, because
Yes.
they've been missing for a while.
They have. We were here to rescue them.
I think
Yes.
a very powerful wizard and human warrior don't need rescuing.
But we don't
But,
know
you
that
know.
until we find them.
That's if they're alive and even here.
Well, if they aren't here, then we can take all of the things back with us.
If they aren't here, we'll rescue the ale.
I don't
The
think
conversation
they're
has come full circle. I am very happy. Thomas, you are finding that the library has a collection of nautical information, void information. There are captain's logs, there are star chart books, there are books on history, there are books that are describing like flora and fauna. The knowledge covers the gambit in this place. Literally, if you collected all these books, you're going to have a lot of pluses. But 8d6 in books are a lot of books.
Yeah,
I haven't rolled yet.
that's fine. Thomas is he's kind of in mini heaven. But he knows that he can't carry all of these books back, and he knows that there's not a library on the ship. So,
We could.
I'll roll what, 2d6? Sure, yeah, 2d6, and then that's how many books Thomas will grab.
Oh, hang on. We'll roll all the 8d6
Hold
and
on.
you can just pick a number.
Oh yeah, okay.
6 plus 8. Oh, that's a lot. 24.
This is 14. That's 20. 30. 34 books in total. So 34 books in total. So
That's
you
not
could
that bad.
pick 10 books and give yourself a +1 to one of your skills.
Sure,
Or
I'll
we
pick
could
10
just
books.
take them all in that big sack with the halfling.
I mean,
That's
just leave them
the
outside
thing.
door.
30 books, even though that's a lot, that's not a lot to carry.
No, it's not. Enough.
So I think he'll just take them all. Not
pile
on
them-
him, but
pile
you
them
know,
outside a door.
exactly.
On top of the kegs.
Yep.
And under the jugs.
Sure.
So after piling all the books in the library and all the wonderful things in the rec room, do you also take the billiard balls?
I'm sure
Um,
Artie
What are you
will
trying to
take
say?
You guys are helping consolidate their leftover material. You find yourself outside the rec room. You could continue going through the rooms of the rec room, or you could follow the carpet at this point in time, which might lead to the throne room.
Is that the hallway that to the north?
No.
No.
Okay.
No, yeah, we can go down that hallway, or we can keep following the carpet.
I mean, I think we should go down that hallway because I feel like it wouldn't open up into something, and unless it connects to like the dining room or something, because this is like a party room.
Yeah. As far
It
as
either
you're-
leads to a bedroom or it leads to like a dining room or another hallway.
Yeah, as far as you're aware, the rooms
bathroom.
are not connecting back to the first dining area that you guys encountered.
No, yeah.
So, but yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
I mean, if Thomas feels that there's something to be found down there, we should definitely investigate.
All right. Continuing down the northern hallway, you got the first place you come across is a door. That door is to number. Okay, and let's take a look at that. See if it's open. There's like very few doors that are actually closed in this place, so it's kind of easy to deal with. This one's open as well. There is no door. It's just an open passageway into a large room. It's very evident that this seems to be a barracks of some type for the men-at-arms of this stronghold. There are a lot of beds. There are a lot of footlockers. There are a lot of places to hang weapons, racks. 40 common beds are scattered about the... 40 common bunk beds are scattered across this room. That's a total of 80 beds.
There's a lot of beds.
It's a lot of soldiers right there. Chairs, stools, wooden tables, a various selection of implements, including the chest of drawers that accompany each one of the beds. The walls of this room are just like the rest. They have torches. There's no light. There's collections of weapons near the doorway and whatnot. Some bearskins on the floor. It's a barracks. It's a really large barracks. The hallway continues north of where you're at, or you can go wander around this room. The size of the room makes it difficult to see anything on the far wall, so you're not sure about, because of all the bunk beds between here and there, if there are any other doors out of the room. You'd have to wander through it.
These guys were spoiled.
Yeah, but it's quite a garrison they had. This many beds. I'm glad we haven't run into too many of them.
I mean, that's a mini army. What's startling is, yeah, exactly that. We have yet to run into, like, skeletons. It's either they took off to go do something, or they're dead somewhere inside this building.
Well, let's see if this there's any passageway on the other side.
All right,
if
so
not,
we're going
we'll
to
head
wander
the
into the
throne room.
barracks and look around.
Yeah.
All right.
Search all the drawers and stuff.
One of the most important things that you would know, that if there's a barracks, and this would be based upon your knowledge, Kodrog, somewhere nearby there's going to be like a master sergeant or a sergeant's bedroom of some type. Somebody who would lord over the barracks to keep the men in line and stuff like that. Basically their nanny. That's a nice way of saying sergeant in charge.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's got to be something around here. So as you begin moving through the room, awareness rolls.
Sure.
9 on a 14.
All right. Okay.
I got 9 out of, I think, 13.
Okay, both of you. As you're walking through, you see a door to the south, and there's a door to the west, kind of the west northerly corner of the room. The door to the south seems very familiar, as it is a sturdy wooden door with just some ornate decorations on it, similar to the library door that you tore to pieces. And the door across the way doesn't seem ornate, it just seems pretty, stereotypical wooden slat door. Not solid, just a bunch of planks that have been pieced together to create something that opens and closes to keep people from trafficking through your place.
Okay, well, the last ornate door was a treasure trove, so...
Last ornate door went to the library.
Yeah, let's pop it open.
Based upon the logic that you have the impression that this door is about to go into the library because it heads south. The library is kind of to the south of this location. Prying this door open, you enter into an empty library.
Hey. Sweet.
Excellent.
There is also a passageway in this short hallway that goes to the west. Or you can go back into the barracks and head for the plain wooden door.
Ooh. Both those doors lead west, though, don't they?
Both of them do lead west. The hallway leads west, and the plain door leads west.
Well, since I'm physically closer to the door in the hallway right now, I'm gonna default to that one.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Say that again.
Because I'm closer to the door in the hallway, I'm gonna default to going for that one first.
Okay, the plain wooden door, or the door in the hallway. You said.
Yep.
Okay, so not a problem. What's that number there?
20.
Okay. And for those of you who are following along because you've downloaded the PDF, and it's room 28. Getting over this door, it as well is the door in the hallway is kind of decorative, and you see some dwarven sigils for ancestors. You see some symbolism for the druids as well, and you realize these are holy markers that somebody's gone through and written on this door several impacts, as well as like spiritual kind of like, hey, be a nice person, walk beyond here and don't swear and stuff. Rules. Be a nice person. The door is not locked, so once you start pushing on it, it opens up.
Okay. Nudge it open.
On the back wall of this room, opposite of the door you're coming through, is a rock carving of a great idol sculpted into the wall itself. It is of a horned warrior, a warrior wearing a horned helm. He has a very prominent visage. You realize this is a druidic god of conquest. The druids have a lot of visages that they kind of embolize, and this is one of their warrior priests. And so you're like, I know of that. I don't know it well enough to say what exactly it's all about, but you recognize it. There are other holy symbols about the room. The floor is smooth, black slate. In the center of the room is a circular depression in the pit. Measures about 5 feet across, about 3 feet deep, and it's filled with water. Around the outside edges of both sides of the room, you can see a collection of both dwarven and human deities, sculptures, and statues. The druidic statue is the most prominent, and then the rest are human and dwarven. There's a small selection of statues off to one side that you, as Kodrog, do not recognize right off the bat. 3 small statuettes.
Okay, before I do anything, who is the most, well-known god or goddess? That's, for us, it's usually Christianity. It's, God and shit.
Okay, so amongst the normal populace people, generally, Rowan Tag, he's the guy. He's savior.
That's not the druidic though, right?
No, amongst the druid, it's Mother Earth, and it's symbolized by a tree with the sun behind it. they'd plant an actual tree, and if this was like to the mother god, to the earth goddess, it would be a tree growing inside this place. Magic would
But
make
there
it
isn't?
grow. But it isn't. It's this horned dude who is a druidic god of conquest.
Oh, okay, so it's different. Okay.
Yeah. It's still one of the druidic gods, and he's considered kind of evil, but at the same time, he's more about,
It's not necessarily that it's evil. It's
Okay.
just it embodies chaos.
chaos. That's what I'm trying to say. It's as evil in the sense of a civilized world.
Well, yeah, well, it's also like conquest. It sounds like they're trying to take over something, and I don't know, it's ominous to me. It's eerie.
Of course. And then understandable. There's a door across the way from here as well, and that's pretty much, you seem to be in some sort of place of worship. And it's
Yeah.
really nice.
I have a
And,
question.
like, it's got dust, but there's a pool of water in the middle of the room.
Oh. I have a question. These ancestral sigils,
A dwarven
Are they
ancestral sigils,
yeah, are they just sigils, or do they, would they react to the axe?
They are ancestral dwarven sigils of some type. You're not too keen. Do you have knowledge of dwarven history and culture and stuff?
No.
Okay, so this would be a Kodrog thing, to kind of have anything. I know history. You have history of the Marseillan culture, and Marseille does not have temples and churches.
Nope.
I mean, they do. There's a few.
I think the only thing that Thomas was subject to is when he joined the Druids, and they were like, "Look at our tree," and he was just like,
It's a nice tree.
Look at our sweet
"Yeah."
tree.
It's so great.
I could make a roll, but I don't have any knowledge of history or anything. So, unless I have some kind of dwarven default that gives me a bonus, it's
Yeah.
not gonna have anything.
You recognize the small standing statue pillar-like things for what they are.
Yeah.
So the dwarves' ancestors is a bunch of little pillars with different symbolisms on them, and you recognize oh, that one's a god of wealth. Oh, that one's about that's about travel. This one right here is about conquest. This one here is about building the best weapons. So there's rituals that go along with each one of these ancestral totem kind of shrines. You don't know them, you just know of them. And then there's the human side, and then there's this druid thing in the middle, but the three statues off to one side you don't recognize, and they definitely don't fit in this array.
Yeah. Well, this is certainly some kind of important religious room. We should disturb it as little as possible. But I am going to go
agree.
splash in that water.
Is the water magical at all?
No,
Ew.
but it definitely looks like it's moving.
Oh, okay. I guess
I'm
it's
gonna
alright.
I'm gonna taste a little bit in my hand to see if it's good for drinking.
Yeah, you can see that it looks like the water flows in and out of the room. There's holes in the bottom of the pool once you're close enough.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna up my water skins. Just make sure they're topped off.
Sure.
I'm sorry if I blacked out. Did we? Can we ask questions of these sigils?
Of course.
Okay.
Yes, whatever questions you want. I'm happy.
I mean, Thomas will ask for the axe from Naresh.
Naresh will hand you the axe. Here you go. Are you planning to talk to the little stone people?
Thomas looks at Kodrog and then goes, "Yeah." I'm surprised that Kodrog wasn't offended by that. But Thomas just goes, "Yeah, yes. I was gonna ask if they knew what happened here."
All right. Yeah, your first take is man, this is a religious thing, and people are really religious. They have this thing. And being from Marseille, your opinion is eh. And so you would expect, the dwarf's but he's not. Kodrog doesn't seem to mind, which is not the reaction you were expecting.
Yeah.
You were expecting to be no, you can't, which is sensible, because that's where your character comes from.
Yeah.
And so you take the axe, you walk over to these little altar shrine things.
Yeah.
What do you do?
He magically, I mean, he'd look at it, but activating it. Is there anything that's obvious magically that he has to activate it?
The axe acts as a conduit for your speech to the other side. In other words, it's a microphone to the dead.
Oh. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. No, he feels really dumb doing this, but he kind of clears his throat and he goes, "Do you know what happened here and what happened here?" Mainly just what happened here. I kind of realized I fucked myself,
right.
but what happened here?
There's a moment. The stones all seem to have a light to them. Kodrak, this is from your point of view. The stones seem to have a light to them, and then that's it. They glue, like some sort of eerie light coming from behind them or something. Thomas, what you saw this place was filled with people. You see ghostly figures moving all over the place, actively doing things, training, people sleeping on the floor. You hear voices speaking and preparing. The barbarians on the move. We've got to act fast. These people are in trouble. That's pretty much every word at everybody's mouth. We have to train. The barbarians on the move. They're coming back. This is not a drill. This is not a drill. The barbarians are here. They have landed on the coast. Get all the supplies. Let's get ready. Hold positions. That's the images you get. It's a lot of flashing. It's really fast. You also get images of Roagon and Zelagar moving about. They match very well to the pictures that you see. With your magical sight, you can kind of get an impression from this astral image that you're getting that Zelagar is actually pretty fucking powerful. His magical presence actually seems to wash over into this. One of the things that you notice is that when they go out and about and into... Oh, hello, doggo. They go out and about into combat and whatnot. From the images you get, Zelagar is like fireball, lightning bolt, fireball, lightning bolt, non-stop. That's what you get. You see combat. And that's all that you get from these ancestral spirits is this... notion that there was a fight coming of some type, but you don't get an answer like where they're at, whether they lived or died, or whether they won or lost.
It's fine. I just asked one question. Thomas, I realized that he could have just asked them where they were. Thomas thanks them, and then he kind of takes a moment and he goes, I want to try something. And he hands the axe to Kodrog. I don't know if it's per person.
No, it's once per month.
It's once per month? Okay.
Yeah, you pretty much believe this is not going to work if you get Kodrog to ask. But you can
Thomas
try.
No, if he knows like 100%, he's not going to do it. Thomas will reiterate what happened and he'll start describing seeing the spirits and whatnot. And then he kind of gets that realization of like, I could have just asked them where they were. And now we have to wait a month. Great.
It's okay, Master Thomas. We still have our eyes. If they're not here, we'll ask them in a month.
Strange. They had a battle here, but there's no dead here.
No, the battle was not here. They were leaving for a battle. They were prepping and leaving for a battle. That I should definitely make that part clear. They did not fight here. They were on the move.
How... Okay. Looking at Zelar, that's the wizard name?
Zelagar.
Mm-hmm.
Zelagar, sorry. Zelagar, I'm realizing that name sounds very much like Zoltar, and I just imagine him like a fortune reader. Anyway, Zelagar, looking at his robes and whatnot, is this vision old?
He's not Marseillan, so you can't really judge by the popular fashions of Marseille.
No, but I mean, I'm still a wizard traveling.
Yeah, and he is wearing the generalized pointed hat, so I'm going to say no. It's not that old of a vision. But with your extensive knowledge of magic and training, he is wearing wizard robes, the actual magic item.
Okay.
And he's wielding a staff of power. So, like, a no joke, kick your ass kind of spellcaster.
Yeah, which Thomas respects, but at the same time, he doesn't know much about these people to give a good estimation of who they were and whatever. But I just am curious because if it wasn't a long time ago, and I know that the ground and shit have been weathered over the years, but did it look like this place had gone through a war or a fight?
No. This place does not look like it's gone through a war or fight. In fact, this place looks like it was quickly abandoned, and then...
I meant more like the island itself.
The island itself, the places that you came in on? No, it did not.
So maybe we came in on the wrong side.
It's a good possibility, yeah. I'm not going to deny that one. Whoosh!
What a pathetic boy.
He's so he's so sleepy. He's been sleeping all day. It's hard to
Well,
doggo.
he better find some energy. He's got to go for walkie times.
Yeah.
Alright, well, Thomas reiterates what his thought is and whatever, and
Okay.
kind of turn to the group and shrug a bit. He's beating himself up that he didn't ask the obvious question, and that's mainly Paige's fault, so.
You asked
But-
a good question.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
not why we were here, though.
That's okay.
you got caught up in this story. It's okay.
Probably.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I think that our plan should just be to continue looking for clues to see if maybe we can find a different way to answer the question where everyone
Well, do you
went.
want to go back to the plain wooden door that you left behind in the barracks, or go across to the door on the other side of the chapel?
I don't know. I think that's the
Okay.
kind of cliffhanger decision we end on. Oh!
Yeah! There you go.
I don't know.
You got 4
Probably
minutes. Pick a door.
yeah, whichever one's closer.
The plain door is closer.
Yep.
Yeah, I was
Plain
gonna say,
door.
let's just go to the plain door, because that's the other one that we were looking at.
Yeah.
Okay. You go to the plain door. It's decent. It opens up into a short hallway that enters into a T section. We're going to swap the locations of these two guys.
Okay.
And the T section. Straight ahead of you, you see what looks to be an accommodating room of some type. Bed, table, desk, stuff like that. None of that matters. From the other section, because that room is straight ahead from where you're looking. The room that's off to the side of the T junction, light ebbs out of it. Green light, powerful, dominion magic, necromantic energies ooze into the hallway into Thomas's magical vision.
And now we in there.
No!
So, we
This
will
dungeon was brought to you by Dungeon Doggo.
we will be picking up next week
Next week!
because we have one more episode, and that's next Saturday. We're wrapping up this story arc for the time being. I'm excited.
Is that gonna be it for this year?
Yes.
Oh shit.
You and John and us will talk about how next year's going to go. And next game session, which is next Saturday, we will be wrapping it up like Cassie just said. So, no reason to keep his doggo from his wacko.
Poor Burns.
But yeah, so yes, we will be returning next week, and we will be wrapping up this section of the story there, and then we will figure out where we want to pick up next time.
Yep.
Where and possibly when.
Ooh, time travel.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Well, I think we're done for the show tonight. I'll give it karma. I'll get experience points after the roll stops. So stick around, you two.
All right, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Whatever time
Yeah.
Eastern time is now. I don't know. Daylight savings. Yay.
It's the same. It's the same time. It's just
Just saying.
if your clocks are changed, be here at
Good.
5.
All
If,
right.
if it's not, be here at 6.
Exactly. So we'll see you later.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.